All right, good morning, everyone. I'm 13 WMAZ meteorologist Alex Forbes. It is 7 a.m. and we are following a developing severe weather situation in North Macon right now. What you're seeing is a lot of colors on a map right here. This is large hail working its way through North Macon right now. This is right along Bass Road. That is right here. There's Forsyth Road up towards Howard High School. So this is right where I believe was it a United Methodist Church right there. Howard Oaks Drive. This is hail that is very large in diameter. A severe thunderstorm warning obviously in effect. But right at that intersection and to the northwest of it, we're looking at hail over 1.5 inches in diameter. But I want to give you a heads up on where this is moving. So here we go off to the east now. Let's get some more roads in here. This is going to be between really Bass Road and Riverside Drive. So here's Wesleyan Drive right here, White House Plantation Road, Rivoli Drive, Carriage Way, all of this moving towards your area as we speak. Forest Hill Road down towards Northside Drive, so where the food depot is, moving towards your area there. And then once you get over towards the interstate, it's going to be crossing I-75 right at Tom Hill Senior Boulevard. Of course, that's where Kroger is, that's where Planet Fitness is, that's where Buffalo Wild Wings is. So a very populated area there as well. But this is obviously an area of very large hail right now, but the hail, the area that is covered by hail right now is even bigger. You know, we zoom this out and we're talking about hail from the southern end of Monroe County here. So there's Arkwright, there's southern Monroe, all the way down to 74, all the way down, I believe that's Thomaston Road. So a large area of hail in North Macon that's continuing to move towards Jones County, but this little part right in here at the Forsyth Road, Bass Road intersection is hail that is 1.5 inches in diameter, and that's moving towards 75 and eventually into Jones County here before all is said and done. So let's track the most intense part of the storm. It's moving to the east at about 40 miles an hour, so moving fairly quickly this morning, and that was loud here at 13 WMAZ. So Clinton 719 Gray about 721. Now some good news here. It looks like that just updated and the hail size not quite as big, but still, you know, severe in nature. So what we're talking about now, again, indicative of how fast the storm is moving, is the largest hail. That's going to be, this is the Arkwright exit right there, so that's going to be right at Tom Hill where this large hail is. So there's Riverside Drive right here. This is Interstate 75. Tom Hill's down there. All those lines you see, that's the parking lot. So that's going to be Arkwright Road, you know how it goes up along the river. There's Sheridan Drive, so this is where the Courtyard Marriott is, and it's crossing the Ocmulgee River as we speak into Jones County. So River North, this is coming over you right now. Now you are seeing the most intense part of the storm as it continues to move towards the east at about 40 miles an hour. So let's flip over to the radar picture. A ton of lightning within this, a ton of lightning like that. It cannot understate how much lightning is in this. Let's talk about, see if we get a total on here. 608 lightning strikes over the course of the past 10 minutes in Monroe County. There's North Macon, there's Jones County, and all of this moving towards Coopers, Gordon, and Dry Branch here over the next few minutes. So now let's track the storm as a whole. So we're going to be tracking the strong winds and the lightning, not necessarily just the hail and when all of that is going to arrive. It would help if I hit the right button. So let me hit the right button this time and not draw a box and draw a track here. So about 40 miles an hour. So here we go at 40. Gray 706, Haddock about 716, Coopers 727, Deep Step 755, Tabernacle about 759. Again, a ton of lightning with this. And in fact, what I'll do is pull up the Skycam since this is coming through Macon, and we'll likely be able to see it, and turn it towards the north and see what we are looking at out there. So here's the Skycam. Obviously, this is the time that the sun would be coming up in the next 30 minutes or so. Obviously, a ton of clouds out there, so we're not going to be seeing that. There's another lightning strike there. I was thinking we'll turn it towards the north, but I mean, we're seeing plenty of lightning as is, but I will still do that and see what's going on out there. Let's see where we got. It's over here. So I'm going to turn it on this computer here, but it's going to take a second to respond behind me, and we will see what's going on up there. So I'm turning it now, and it's going. Our camera's on top of Atrium Health Navicent, so we're going to be looking northwest. Let's see. Yeah, all I'm seeing is just a ton of lightning. So waiting for the camera to respond here. It should in just a second. I've already turned it. So while we wait on that, we're going to be looking at a ton of lightning. You can see the cloud deck right there with the lightning off in the distance. I didn't realize how much of a delay this is on, but let's see what we got. Ooh, that was a big one. I'm looking over a parking deck and over the hospital right here right now. So once this turns, there we go. This was me turning it 30 seconds ago. So there's a pretty good structure of the cloud there. I think I turned it a little more right after this. So we're going to be looking into the most intense part of the storm right here. Yeah, there we go. So what you see here, I believe that's going to be the leading edge of the rainfall. You see how you get the light in here and then it cuts off? I believe that's the leading edge right in there. And that is where, so in this area, just beyond the hospital right here, that is where the heaviest hail is right now in that area. So let me flip this back over to the radar picture here so we can track what we see on the Skycam as this moves into Jones County. In North Macon right now, but moving into Jones County, at least the hail is. North Macon covered up in lightning, like you can't even see it on the radar picture, and soon southern Jones and soon northern Twiggs, and then parts of western Wilkinson County will be included in that lightning there. In fact, let me turn the lightning off because you really just can't see anything. So there's the most intense part of the storm right here. So there's the interchange right there. This is just north of us at 13 WMAZ. So if you're up near northeast, here we are, literally, we are right here. And that is where the heaviest is right now. So there's Amerson River Park, Northeast High School. So as you go up, what is that? Is Sherling Drive right there on up towards Jones County. That is where the heaviest is. So if you are across Gray Highway from us, say you're back near Walnut Creek Road, Knightsbridge Road, over towards Joycliff Road, once you get into Jones County, the heaviest moving towards you right now, like what we're seeing at Northeast High School. I'm curious to see how that translates to hail size. Yeah, so we're back to the larger hail here, and that's in Jones County. So it's a little dislocated, which is kind of interesting there. The pinks aren't necessarily where the largest hail is in that setup. So let's see what we've got here. Looks like we're getting some new information here. So in Bibb County, close to 3,000 customers out of 71,000 are without power right now. It's up about 22 from 15 minutes ago, and there's the rain here at 13 WMAZ. So passing that along, you may have lost power. Obviously, along with the hail, we had strong winds come through Macon. No signs of rotation with this. We're not talking about a tornado threat, at least with this storm. Now, what I am watching is, whoa, okay. I suspect we're going to get a tornado warning in Meriwether County in just a moment, which might include, there it is. It does not include any of our counties, but I need to give a heads up to everybody here at 13. This comes right up to Monroe County now. So we are going to be keeping a close eye on this. That is a very strong tornado signature just outside of our area, and that is a debris bulb. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground in Meriwether County right now. The storm had been trying to rotate for quite a while, and I'll tell you what, I know Raymond can hear me right now. Let me ask you, do we want to go on for Upson County? It's technically not our county, but we do have viewers there, so if you could pop in my ear and let me know, that would be great. And we'll see what the verdict is there. But that tornado warning going to go until 8 o'clock, but you can see it's coming, moving in the general direction of Monroe County. Now, the good news is that through the morning hours, we've seen these warnings pop up in Alabama. They have not lasted very long, so we are hoping that it does not last as long as Monroe County, but nonetheless, a tornado warning storm pointed right towards our area. Let's see what we've got here. Let's ask. So let's see what's going on there. So obviously a ton of lightning. We're hearing the rain here at 13 WMAZ. And then that's moving into southern Jones County. But this is what has my attention now. So all of this, this storm just outside of our area, obviously we still have the hail threat in central Georgia, but I am concerned about what's going on over in Meriwether County right now. That would be moving towards the Thomaston area and then eventually towards Monroe County over the course of the next few minutes. Let's see what we've got going on with the winds back here in Macon. So, just a good example of, we say when you see red and green, that's when you've got a tornado. Obviously, we have reds and greens here in Macon, but you need the reds and greens to shape up like this out here rather than what we see in Macon to get a tornado threat. So that's what we're seeing in Meriwether County, and that is going to continue to move towards Monroe County here in the next little bit. And then we also had the debris drop out. So as I mentioned, through the morning hours, we've seen these warnings pop up and then dissipate rather quickly. So what I'm seeing here is right where Harris City is in Meriwether County, it looks like a brief dropout, a weak tornado that has since dissipated. So I guess better news on that front, but still nonetheless a tornado warning. I don't know who's got it on, but somebody's got their IFB thing open in my ear. If we could turn that off at some point, that would be great. But obviously butting up against our area, not the best news on this Monday morning. Coming back from spring break here in Macon, babe, what a way to start it with this storm. So probably a lot of questions about headed to school. I would not recommend walking out in lightning right now. That is not recommended. Let me hop on our Facebook page and see what kind of questions we're getting here. Let's see. Hail at our house and no power. Uh-oh, says Karen. Power cut off on Bowman Road. Raymond, you messaged me about the power outages. It does appear that's North Macon, so that's where the storm is right now. Kendra's power is out. Let's see, Katie, hail off Bass Road on the windows. So Bass and Bowman Road is where the power is out this morning. That was on my Facebook page. Obviously, if you see any pictures, please post them in the Weather Network Facebook group. Please send them to us here at 13WMAZ, and we will try to get those on as quickly as we can. Now, there we go. Okay. So let's get to some comments here. What about Roberta? Moving out of Roberta right now. No power on Rivoli, Hale and Jones County. Which way is tornado moving? Tornado is moving towards Upson County right now. The school buses don't need to be out on the roads. I would agree. They've lost power in North Macon, Bass Road, hail and lightning practically overhead. Is there a tornado? Hale and Jones County. It looks like we've got a new warning extending this severe thunderstorm warning. So this is going to be Northern Twiggs into Wilkinson, Jones, and Baldwin until 8 a.m. now, and that is for the storm that produced all of the hail in Macon and for what is moving into your area as we speak. So let's check on the hail size. It has improved in terms of not being quite as big from what we saw earlier. So there's the Bibb Jones County line moving towards Northern Wilkinson, Baldwin here over the course of the next few minutes. And again, the winds, not too terribly strong, but we are going to continue to watch that. So the storm, we were slated to lose this morning back here at 7:15. That's why this one is now coming out for this severe storm. So if you are in Gordon now, if you are in southern Baldwin County, northern Wilkinson County, you do not need to be going outside. That is, I know school is starting soon. Not right now. Don't go outside in this. You don't want to be struck by lightning. You also don't want to be driving through flooded roadways. We have seen a handful of those in and around central Georgia this morning. So that's continuing to lift towards Wilkinson County. Let's put a track on this. Double check. I believe it's moving to the east at 40. They put the 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail moving east at 35. So glad I checked that because it's not moving quite as fast. Let's see. Okay. Sounds good. Raymond, I just saw your message. So east at 35. So it's slowing down a bit too, which is interesting. Let's track the leading edge here. 35. So here we go. We got Massey Hill in the next 6 minutes, Gordon the next 7 minutes, over towards Irwinton 7:38, Toomsboro 7:47. Looks like Oconee about 7:59 and Tennille about 8:13. A ton of lightning with this. So here's the thing with these storms is that, the most intense part of the storm only hits a handful of people. But everybody sees the lightning. Everybody hears the thunder. Everybody sees the heavy rainfall. So what I did is I tracked all of that rather than the most intense part of the storm. So, we're going to be talking about, a very narrow path here of Wilkinson County that's going to see the most northern extent of that, but still a ton of lightning back into Macon here over the next few minutes. So now that it is 7:15, what you're seeing is the severe thunderstorm warning for North Macon is gone. For western Jones County, continues for eastern Jones County, south of Gray. And it continues now. It technically includes Milledgeville. However, south of Milledgeville, that where the biggest threat is, and then Wilkinson County, and then eventually into Washington County. That's going to be about 7:55, Oconee, 10, 11, 8, 13, 2, so about towards the end of the hour. It'll be crossing into Washington County. So that's what we've got going on here. I do want to quickly see what's going on in Meriwether County because that is what has me concerned. Obviously, we've got a tornado warning just up against our area. And let's see. Okay. That's what we've got going on here. So we had a fairly defined signature on the velocity just a moment ago. Let's see how that looks now. Yeah, still there. It's that right there that is likely the tornado. So in terms of a Monroe County threat, which is where this is moving, here's Monroe County right here. There's Jones, North Macon. Here's this tornado. We are going to be talking about the next hour and a half probably. Let me see what they've got the motion on this set at. This is going to be moving east at 40. So if I track this at 40, you know, in the next hour, that takes it, or, oh, what is that? Oh, let's do 60 minutes instead of 30. East at 40. You know, we're talking about less than an hour from Monroe County. So that puts it at the Rock, 7:51. That's Upson County, Barnesville, 8 o'clock. But then Culloden, and there's a general, say that arc right there. If you're anywhere along that arc, around 8:05. So yeah, in the next 40 minutes or so, we're going to be talking about this storm that is currently tornado warned and currently has a fairly good signature on it, crossing into Monroe County. Yeah, and that is a debris signature right there. I'm curious if the Weather Service is going to call this a confirmed tornado. I don't think they have yet, but I am seeing the debris signature, which is obviously concerning. Yeah, they've got radar indicated rotation labeled there, but it's continuing. That is, let's see, continuing warning, capable of producing, okay, expired, Bibb Jones, okay. So that is where things stand at the moment. Again, this technically not in our viewing area, but it is moving towards our viewing area. So that's why we are keeping a very close eye on it. Let's see what else we've got going on. So obviously the storm in North Macon pulling out into Jones and Wilkinson. It's raining down in Rutland right now. That is not even part of the heaviest part of what we've got going on across central Georgia. In fact, there's barely even any lightning strikes in that stuff. That is all up towards the north. That's going to be Jones County on into Wilkinson County and what we're tracking right now. So I know we're getting a lot of questions in terms of what is going on across central Georgia. What is going on where I live? I'm in Warner Robins. Why are you on Facebook Live right now? And that is because we have a whole ton of rain up to the north, and embedded within that, severe storms, and embedded within that, I believe, a tornado on the ground in Meriwether County right now that's about to move into Pike, Upson, and eventually towards the Monroe County area. But where it's raining right now, it has been raining for several days, to put it mildly. I mean, we've seen a ton of rainfall, talking about over 6 inches in a few spots that has prompted some river flood warnings, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But first, I was trying to punch up the rainfalls. We'll see if we want to get, okay, so here we go. Anytime you see this pink color here, that's going to be over 6 inches of rain. You get over this black color here, that's going to be 8 inches of rain. That's what they've seen out to the west. But they've seen rain for a bit longer because the training has been going on. And we're going to be talking about that now moving into central Georgia over the course of the day ahead. So a flooding threat up to the north. The National Weather Service has issued a flood watch. That's going to be in effect until this afternoon. Now, where the flood watch is not in effect through the course of the day today, we have a severe weather threat. A level 2 severe weather threat down to the south. Obviously, we're have that tornado warning in the level 1 right now, but through the day today down to the south, that is going to be where the bigger threat is here in central Georgia. Let's see what we've got. in terms of questions. So again, I know everybody's asking about their city. I can't go through that right now because everybody has the threat of severe weather today. Here's what you need to know. If it is raining where you are right now, if it is storming where you are, then you are experiencing today's severe weather threat right now. If it is not storming where you are, you will see it over the course of the day today. So the timing is going to be from now until 5 p.m. until the last of the storms get out of central Georgia, and then that will do it for us. Kim asking why we're not breaking it on TV. Well, so that tornado warning is technically just outside of our area. As soon as it crosses into Monroe County, we will be breaking in. We will also be doing an update here on CBS Mornings in just a few minutes. There are a handful of school closures this morning. Yes, you can see that list on 13WMAZ.com and check your school status there. Power out since 5 a.m. in Crawford County. Power out on Bowman Road. Just a heavy downpour in North Jones. Lights flickering off Highway 49 in Jones. Hail in Jones. Kelsey, is there a tornado? I believe there is one in Meriwether County, which technically is not our area. So in TV, the TV stations have defined areas that are set by the FCC, and Meriwether County belongs to Atlanta. So the folks in Meriwether County that are on TV turn on CBS and see the CBS station in Atlanta. They don't see us in Macon, so that's why we're not on TV at the moment. Let's see. This is a mess. Nobody needs to be out in it. Yes, I would agree. Daughter's on Crest Highway in Thomaston in Upson County. So your daughter needs to be in her safe place at Thomaston, because that's where the tornado warning is. What's making the storms lift north and rain in some areas? Great question. Let's talk about it. Let me pull up the big radar picture. So what we have is a big surge of air from the south. Well, first, what we've had is a stalled out boundary across central Georgia for a while, for the better part of 3 days. And what's happening is we got a surge of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico, essentially, and that's what's lifting the storms towards the north. But what's eventually going to happen is it's going to reach this area to the north and then begin moving south, and the front will turn into a cold front and it'll push everything out of the way. It will stall out again down to the south, but we will be talking about the rain finally getting out of here by the time we get to middle of the day tomorrow. But it'll be out of Macon, Roberta, Irwinton later today. It'll only be raining down to the south tomorrow. All right, so Ms. Bonnie, I know we're coming up on this cut-in here. What we'll do is, just so everybody at home knows, I'm going to fade to black, and then I'm going to come back up. And we're going to do something on TV, and then we'll fade to black again, and then I'll come back here on the stream. So the stream is going to stay just like normal. You're going to see what we do on TV, essentially, and then we will get back to having this conversation about this tornado warning in Meriwether County. Again, we're not on TV right now because that is just outside of our viewing area, but we are going to do our normal cut-in here during CBS Morning. So if you could just count me down to when that's going to happen. I believe Wanya, is it 7:26 on the dot? Yes. Okay. So that's what we're going to do here in a second. So until then, I'm going to answer some questions. Sirens in South Thomaston. Yes, that is because there's a tornado warning in Thomaston right now. Bass Road, no power, lots of thunder, lightning in Eatonton. Warner Robins, safe to go to school. Yes, you're safe in Warner Robins right now. Where's Ben? He always includes Upson County. Ben works at night, and that's why we're on right now, is we're talking about Upson County, but the people who turn on the TV in Upson County, they see the Atlanta station, so we don't go on for that. But we are here covering this right now. Need to know where that tornado is, says Steph. Let's check in on it since we haven't done it in a minute. I know we're less than 2 minutes away, so we will be doing what I just explained here in just a moment. Yeah, so there's your debris dropout right there. If I flip this over to velocity, I bet it lines up. Yep, right in there. So the signature not quite as strong, so some better news on that front, but it does look like between Woodbury and Manchester right now that there's a pretty good chance there's a tornado on the ground. Dylan asking, is there a tornado warning in Orwatch in Jones County? No, there is not. Did a tornado come through North Macon? No, that was a severe thunderstorm. Is it safe to go to school in Bibb County now? As long as you are not going outside while it's still thundering or hailing, it's okay to go in the rain, but we don't want you walking outside in lightning. let's see. So we're at 7:25. Bonnie, if we want to go ahead and fade to black, and I'll see you here in just a moment. Yeah, good morning, Wanye. We have two things I need to tell you about this morning. So here's what we've got. First, a severe thunderstorm warning in our area. This is going to run here for the next 30 minutes. And the storm is what prompted power outages in North Macon. It's what brought hail through North Macon and what is now bringing lightning into southern Jones County, northern Wilkinson. That's going to be Twiggs County there and into Baldwin. This continuing to move towards the east now at about 40 miles an hour. So let's draw a track on this just like this. And what I'm going to do is track the most intense part of the storm. Now it's going to rain at your location before what this shows here, but I'm tracking the heaviest winds and the threat of hail. So Cooper's 731 over towards Irwinton 745, Toomsboro about 753, Oconee 803, and Sandersville about 812. If I could get that clock to pop up, that would be great. And then now I want to bring you over to Upson County and Meriwether County. This is where we have a tornado warning right now. Now, the reason why we're not staying on for this is because this is outside of our area. This is outside of, when you turn on your TV in Upson County and in Pike County, you don't see us on 13 WMAZ. But if this comes into Monroe County, which it is moving towards, if its circulation holds together and they issue a tornado warning for Monroe County, then we will come on with that. But as things stand right now, we were looking at a fairly strong tornado signature a few moments ago, still rotating. But if I back this up a few scans, it was right in there. Right there where we had that tornado signature, and then that was co-located with what we look at lofted debris right in there. So I do think we had a tornado in Monroe County before all was said and done. Now, we have picked up a ton of rainfall. That is also a concern this morning. We have seen over 6 inches of rain in several spots. That's Putnam County through Monroe County and then back towards LaGrange, and then almost nothing down to the south. So through the course of the day today, we're going to be talking about the storms moving from northwest to southeast, and as they do so, dumping a lot of rain as they do it. So here we go. By the noon hour, scattered storms across central Georgia, then eventually they'll begin to get out of here. Here we are at 5 p.m. with the last of the storms making it out of central Georgia. All right, so it looks like we just got a tornado watch. It's going to take a minute for it to populate in this computer, but let me see if I can get it to come up. I know we've got about 15 seconds, but a tornado watch that includes Bibb County. I'll tell you what, that's going to go out on my social media pages literally as we speak. So if you want to see that, it will be there. I turned on the watch counties. They're not coming up, so we'll have that tornado watch for you coming up here in a little bit. Load it. Okay. Yep. All right, good morning, everyone. So as I was just saying there on TV, we got the tornado watch that just came in for most of central Georgia. So I'm trying to pull that up here on our computer. Now, it's going to take a minute for it to populate because essentially what happens is the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma issues the watch, but then the National Weather Service has to come up behind and issue the counties. So that's what they're in the process of doing right now. Let's see, there we go. So here's the tornado watch. Peachtree City was on it. All right, so this is going to be Monroe, Jones, Baldwin, Washington, Johnson, Fruitland down to Dodge, Dooley, Macon. That time is not right. I need to update the time. Let's see how long this goes until. That's going to be until 11 a.m. And so now this is going to be all of most of central Georgia until 11 a.m. All right, so there we go there. And there's your tornado watch. There's There we go. So now the time's correct. So this was issued because the storms moving into central Georgia have been rotating through the morning hours, and we're continuing to watch one tornado warning that is just outside of our area. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's the tornado watch coming in. Okay. So the other thing, now before we went to the cut-in, we were talking about the flooding that was going on. That is also a concern this morning, especially areas that have seen it. So that is what we're watching. Let's see what we got here. Watching from Thomaston, says Melissa. So Thomaston, you're in that tornado warning over there. It looks like they just updated it. I'm curious to see what they did to it. So what I'm going to do is go down to Thomaston, and then we're going to jump over to Gray, because I know it's storming in Gray as well. So here's this tornado warning that's going to be just Upson County, Meriwether County, and that is going to continue here for the next little bit. I'll tell you what, for our team here at 13, remain within earshot, because this is now just one county removed from Monroe. So we might be hopping back on the TV here in short order. Luckily not seeing a debris signature, but we are seeing tight rotation right there on the Meriwether-Upson County line. So this tornado warning going to go until 8. So in fact, yeah, there's a new scan right there, and it continues to get tighter. So since we got that new scan, let me see what we got going on down to the south. And I'm scrolling through your comments. I can't answer all of them because they're coming in fast and furious, but I'm answering the ones that are sticking out. Any school closings in Bibb? I don't think so. If somebody wants to pop in my ear and tell me anything else, I don't think we have any school closings in Bibb. The worst of the weather is going to be out of Bibb, or is out of Bibb at the moment, so it's safe for everybody to go to school. But then we got another round coming in Bibb before too long. That's funny. Thank you, Dustin. When is it going to get bad in Dublin? So later on this afternoon, about 2, 3 o'clock, this line of storms is going to be coming through Dublin. Hailing in Jones County about 15 minutes ago. Yes, the sleeves are up. The sleeves are up for a reason. Is Dublin going to get bad? So Dublin now, I believe Dublin's included in the tornado watch. Let me double check. Where did I put that graphic? I need to drag it back in. Let's see. I believe Lawrence County is included. Let's see. So yes, Lawrence County. There we go. Lawrence County included in the tornado watch until 11 a.m. Now, what I want you to know is that we have had storms this morning, obviously in Bibb, Jones, Monroe. That's where they are right now. We've got a second round coming. That is where this tornado warning is in Meriwether County. This is moving towards Monroe and eventually Jones County. What about Barnesville? So Barnesville is included in a tornado watch. I believe the worst of the weather is going to be south of Barnesville. Please update on Ivy. So Ivy now in a tornado watch. And we're going to be watching storms through the afternoon. And the worst of the weather will be coming into Wilkinson County shortly. So if we hop back over here, let's see. Ivy. Yeah, so the worst is to the north of you right now, but the threat of bad weather as we head through the day today. Yeah, so there we go there. So in Gordon, so in since we're talking about Wilkinson County, the worst of the weather, actually it's in Ivy right now. Let me check the hail size while we're here. Not as big as it was. I believe the storm is weakening, to be completely honest with you. And we'll continue to watch the latest on that. Nasty in Upson right now. So Upson is in that tornado warning, Robin. You need to be in your tornado safe place. When will the next round of storms come in Bibb? I have class from 11 to 12:15. Great question. Bibb should be 9-ish, 9, 10 o'clock. So I think you'll be okay, Kira. What about Milledgeville? Pretty nasty storm just south of Milledgeville right now. That's what we were looking at in Wilkinson County. But all of this is moving towards Milledgeville over the course of the next few hours. Is it safe to drive from Macon to Athens this morning? Huh, that's going to be an interesting one. I would, personally, I wouldn't do it. Will you be fine? Probably. But it's going to rain a lot, and you're going to see a lot of lightning, and don't hit a cow on the way. I hear Bonnie laughing in my ear. Yeah. Let's see. Is Houston County going to get bad weather? Yeah, so Houston is now in the tornado watch. We're going to watch for this line of storms moving down to the south. Update on Hancock. So I think the worst of the weather has come through Hancock. And we are going to be watching, obviously, Hancock closely, but I think the worst of it has come through. be in work and Forsyth at 10. Will you be okay? Yes. I think the worst is going to come through Forsyth before 10. Coming into Monroe County, time frame for that. Within the next hour, and Monroe County, I'm concerned about this. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this if they extend this tornado warning. Now, if a tornado warning is issued for Monroe County, it's going to be south of Forsyth. It's going to be, say, Culloden, Bolingbroke, eventually towards the North Macon area if they go that far, but I think they would put it to, like right about there and track it as it moves across Upson County and into Monroe and then decide what to do with it after the fact. Will the tornado path miss or hit Jones? So that storm, this storm here that has the tornado, moving towards Jones County, generally speaking, and we will be tracking that into there. Learning where you are on a county map can answer quite a bit of these questions. Jeffrey reading my mind. Thank you, Rochelle. Rochelle, our 6 a.m. producer with the water. It's going to be a long morning here. Let's see, Eatonton, the worst has come through Eatonton, I think. Safe to drive from Bass Road to Jones County. It depends where in Jones County. If you're going to like Gray, yes. The worst of the weather's moving out, but I would go now. Go now. Abbeville, you got a while. You got later this afternoon. Susan is when it's going to come to Abbeville, say 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Husband has a 9:30 appointment in Macon traveling from Jackson. Ooh. No. I wouldn't do that one because he'd probably be leaving at what, like 8? Oh, no, Jackson's not that. No, I still wouldn't do it. Mainly because we have this tornado warning right here, and that would come across this area as he's coming down here. Is Tom Hill okay? I have to work. I have not. I assume Tom Hill's okay. They had hail move over the area, fairly large hail from what I understand, and I know that power is out at Bass Road and Bowman Road. If anybody has a status update on Tom Hill, I'd like to know. Amber asking about Upson County. Upson is in the tornado warning, so let's get an update of what's going on there. Initially, just off the top of my head, I don't see a debris signature, so that's good news. I go over to the velocity, and I still see a problem spot. Okay, so it appears what they're doing here is they're going to let the tornado warning go. And they're going to replace it with the severe thunderstorm warning that you just saw pop up. So, good news on that front. They're going to let the tornado warning go, and they're going to replace it with the severe thunderstorm warning. However, this is still very concerning to me right in there. That is a problem, and we're going to continue to track this here as it moves towards the area. So let me see. Usually whenever they do this, they send us a message, and I don't want to say, they essentially explain why they did it. So I'm just curious to see what they're saying. And they didn't do that. So, yeah, so they continued the tornado warning at 7:30 and then issued the thing at 7:37. Now, the other thing they could be doing, because the storm is about to outrun the polygon, when we flip this back over here, the worst of the weather is about to be outside of this red box. It is possible that they issue this warning, this severe thunderstorm warning, but then they come in behind it with a smaller tornado warning, which is also a possibility. And they wouldn't do that necessarily until that rotation gets closer to this line right here. So I think what they're doing is giving a heads up to eastern Upson County, but then also this little sliver of Monroe County right here. This computer is blocking Culloden. So Culloden, there's your heads up. There's the severe thunderstorm warning. But then also northwestern Crawford County. So this is moving now. Let's see. This is moving east at 45. So I'm going to track the storm east at 45. I'm not tracking the rotation. I'm tracking the whole storm here. And I'm going to need to zoom out. Ignore those times. Don't look at that. Okay. Let's zoom out and track this east at 45. So again, I'm tracking the storm, not necessarily the rotation. East at 45. So we've got Bolingbroke 811, Arkwright 820, Culloden 856, Yatesville 756, Yatesville 746, Lizella 857, and then downtown Macon at about 835. Just need a little bit of that. So this is your heads up and now that I'm looking at this, I was talking about what they're doing to the warning. I'm pretty sure that's what I was describing was what they were doing by giving the early heads up, because if they were going to, if they believed the tornado threat was gone, they would have canceled the tornado warning, and they didn't do that. So that is what you need to know. And actually, I'm going to play this back, but I think we're getting another circulation developing on the south side. That is actually exactly what we're doing. You saw that flare up that happened right there. I think that's what's happening in there. Okay, let me get back to the questions. Heavy rain has stopped in Jones. Yes, but you're not done for the day in Jones. Wesleyan, Bass area here. Yes, there's a big storm moving towards Wesleyan and Bass over the course of the next hour or so. Got school at 8 in Roberta. What's the news? In Roberta, you've got the storm to the north of you. I think you'll be okay in Roberta as long as you get there now. If it's 8, I mean, go now. Go to school. Is the tornado in Meriwether moving towards Bibb or Jones? Generally speaking, yes, the storm is. First Monroe, then North Bibb, then Jones, and then they just dropped that warning. So there we go. The tornado warning is gone. However, the severe thunderstorm warning is still in place. That's going to be Monroe and Crawford included within this, but that area of rotation is still very present in this storm. It's moving into Thomaston as we speak, and eventually towards the Monroe County area. So we're watching this one very closely. Let's see. Any tornado warnings in Griffin? No, there's no tornado warnings in Griffin. Yes, it's safe to go to Tatnall right now, but go now. Don't go 30 minutes from now. Go now. Milledgeville has school? Yes, all Baldwin County has school. Am I safe to drive from Forsyth to Macon for school? When, Missy? When are you making that drive? Any hail? Pierce, I-75. We did show some hail moving over the area. I haven't gotten confirmation, but I'd like to know. So if you saw anything this morning, please send me a message and let me know. What about Barnesville? The worst of the weather is south of Barnesville now. Safe to drive from Macon to McDonough. I would not do that right now, Lydia. Houston County is okay at the moment. However, Houston County has been included in this tornado watch that's going to run until 11 a.m. So 4 hours. 4 hours of a tornado watch. Let's see. Still waiting for Houston County. Jada, I just answered that. Houston County is okay at the moment, but storms are coming later on this morning and afternoon. Is downtown Macon safe? Yes, at the moment. Houston to Macon at 9. That could be a little bumpy there. Hail hit River North at 6:50 this morning. Yes, I was tracking that on TV. Bobby saying stay home if you can. Honestly, it's not a bad idea. But, I mean, if you have to go to school, you got to go to school. I don't think there's anything pressing at the moment that's precluding you from going to school. It's later in the morning when this storm gets into Monroe and Macon that becomes a bit of a different tale. So 2 severe thunderstorm warnings now. We got this one. That's going to be Baldwin, northern Wilkinson. That goes for the next 17 minutes. Eventually, that's moving into Washington County and into Hancock County. But it's this storm in Thomaston that has the rotation in it, and again, is moving east at 45. That had that tornado warning on it. No longer does. This severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. And it's moving to the east at 45. So let's draw an updated track on this. There we go. So Yatesville, 749, Culloden, 755, Bolingbroke, 814. Into the Macon area around 8:30. That's going to be downtown Macon, 836 southwest. And then it's at this point, it's going over the same areas that this storm went over about an hour ago. It's going to move in that general direction once again because it's moving due east here at about 45. So, you know, we're talking about North Macon again in the course of the next 45 minutes or so. The storm that's in Upson. Just another something off the top of my head. I'm noticing a lot of lightning in here, so that's something we're also going to continue to keep an eye on. Typically, whenever these things spin up, it's known to have a lot of lightning with it. Like that can be an indicator. A lightning spike can be something something that we keep an eye out for. But southern Monroe County coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's see. Tornado watch until 11 a.m. Safe to be downtown at 10:30. Yes, 10:30 we should be okay. Downtown Macon, I assume you're talking about. Let's see. So some good, at least as of now, Thomaston is not reporting any damage. Now, the rotation looked like it was weakening as it was rolling into Thomaston. So some good news on that front. But as of now, nothing in Thomaston. Severe thunderstorm warning obviously continues for Thomaston. And the worst of the weather moving in right now, but then to Monroe County. Thomaston to Griffin at 8:30. The worst of the weather will be moving out at that point. I think 8:30 is probably the earliest you could go. Jones County. So in a lull in Jones County right now, had the storm come through the southern part of the county. There's a big storm just on the other side of Monroe that is moving towards Jones County as we speak. So, you know, especially if you're in southern Jones County, Dames Ferry, I think you were asking about. Yeah, moving towards that area. Watching from Tennille, traveling to Griffin at about 9 a.m. From where? Where are you traveling to Griffin from? We've been lucky in Warner Robins. Okay, so yes, we haven't seen a ton of rain in Warner Robins over the course of the past few days, but Monroe County, a far different story, close to 6 inches. But all of this is going to begin sliding south and will move through Houston County through the course of the day today. Just had a lightning strike across the driveway in Coopers. So a reminder, if you hear thunder, don't go outside. If you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. Light and Tie is flooded. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's flooded. Light and Tie. If anybody in the newsroom knows, maybe something for us to check in on. So that's something else we need to talk about is the flooding threat that we have going on today here in central Georgia. We have seen a ton of rainfall, and the rainfall is continuing, obviously. If we zoom this out and we look across Alabama, we still have all of that to work through. That is a flash flood warning from just outside the Tuscaloosa. There's Tuscaloosa right there. That's Tuscaloosa. Justin saying Jones County is where Light and Ties. Okay, well, apparently it's flooded. And it extends all the way to Monroe County. So all this rain is going to work through the area. Now, once this stuff back here gets here, that's when the line's going to begin moving south. So we've got this tornado watch just for us here in central Georgia. And that is going to begin moving south over the course of now until 11 a.m. At least that's how long the tornado watch goes for. Now, that's something I just realized. This tornado watch is literally just us. Typically, whenever we get these watches, we're talking about like several counties, but it's literally Emmanuel County to Talbot County. It's almost just our area. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 counties that technically are not ours that are included in the watch. Otherwise, the watch is just us. So that's some comedic relief for your Monday morning. What a morning to be going back to school after spring break in Bibb County, right? Let's see. High Falls area, bad weather coming in here shortly. School delayed until 9:30, but okay, that's Monroe County. Tons of roads closed in Upson County due to flooding. Yeah, we were talking about that. That flooding is happening to the north right now. Live in Gordon, right now heavy rain and fog. Will it still be storming in Jones and Bibb around 10 a.m.? I'm hoping the storms come through by then, but it will probably still be raining, which is okay. I mean, we can deal with the rain. Upson has no school, says Christy. Yeah, I believe that is correct. Okay. And again, I can't get to everybody's questions. I apologize in advance, but they're coming in. You know, if I answer one and 5 more appear. Is the former tornado back building and will it likely drop near Bass and Arkwright? Asked Lindsay. So let's check in on that storm. It's moving in the general direction of North Macon. The tornado warning has been dropped. I do think we had a tornado in Meriwether County. It's still a severe thunderstorm, and it's in Upson County. It's about to cross into Monroe, Crawford, and Bibb. So let's see what we got going on here. Still a concerning shape. Obviously, it looks like the whole storm is rotating. So what's going on here is the radar we're looking at, I believe it's the Jefferson, but actually it might be Peachtree City. It is Peachtree City. So what's going on here is you've got winds moving towards the Peachtree City radar like this in the green. And then you've got winds moving away from the radar like that. Right? So what happens when this happens, in a small area, very small, you can get that to begin to rotate, kind of like that. And that's how you can get a tornado to form. So there's nothing tight right now, right? This whole thing is rotating. The whole thing is several miles wide. In fact, if I put a measurement on it, what you're going to see is if I draw it like that, like this is over the course of 10 miles. From there to there is 10 miles. So this thing is broadly rotating. It had been tightly rotating, but now it's broadly rotating. And it's moving. And here's Yatesville. There's the Monroe County line. There's the Crawford County line. So there's a rotating storm about to cross into our area. So that's a bit concerning there. Is Baldwin County having school at regular time? Yes. Is Milledgeville going to get hit again? Potentially. I really think the worst of it will be south of Milledgeville. Let's see. Let's clear that off, and let's hop back over to the radar and see what we got going on. Yeah, Milledgeville, you're going to get some heavy rain again, but I really think the severe weather threat is going to be more to your south. I think that's going to be more Twiggs, Wilkinson, maybe southern Baldwin, but Milledgeville I think is going to be okay. Where's Ben? Well, Ben works in the evenings. What about South Bibb? I assume you mean Bibb, Hartley Bridge Road. There will be more storms in your area about an hour to an hour and a half along Hartley Bridge Road. Let's see. Avoid North Side and Wesleyan, tree down on power line blocking both lanes. I assume somebody in the newsroom can hear me. Maybe that's something we could look for pictures on. That's a fairly populated area. I assume somebody took a picture. That is North Side and Wesleyan, where there's a tree apparently on power lines. And I also know, I've seen a lot of comments, power was out at Bowman Road and Bass Road earlier this morning. Byron okay to send to school? Yes, right now. It is okay to go to school in Byron. So Fort Valley is good right now? Yes. Angie, Houston County will say later this morning. Got a severe threat there. Elliot says, I need some help and put my sleeves down. Well, Elliot, I don't think you know how we do things here at 13. Sleeves up means heads up for severe weather. Let's see. How about Byron? We just talked about Byron. Have the temperatures changed, or is it too early to know yet? So they haven't changed in Macon. It is cooler up towards the north, and once the storms start moving south, then they'll begin to change here, and then that will be how that goes. Let's see. Ivy south of Milledgeville. So had a storm come through Ivy earlier. In fact, actually, it's still lightning there. So that's moving out, but all of this is moving in. So Ivy in the next few hours, let's say 2 hours, 2.5 hours probably, another storm headed your way there in Ivy. Let's see. Lizella. Great question, Lizella. So you're here in Lizella. This big storm in Thomaston, the one that's severe warned, the one that is rotating, is moving in the general direction of Lizella. So we're watching Lizella closely. Job in Gray at 9, what will you be dealing with? Decide to reschedule. Well, if your job is outside, that's not going to be happening at 9 o'clock. But if you just need to get there, I think you can get there by 9 and be okay in Gray. Is it okay to drive to Forsyth for school around 9 a.m.? Asked Linda. I don't know where you're coming from, but I'm going to go ahead and say no, because that's about an hour from now, and about an hour from now, this is going to be there. So no. Let's see. Power out on Riverside Drive. Eatonton, the worst of the weather has come through Eatonton. I think your severe weather threat in Eatonton is coming to an end. What about the training center in Forsyth? It's going to be raining there for the next little while, say the next 45 minutes to an hour, then the rain will begin to taper off and will dry out for the remainder of the day. I got to admit, some of these comments are really funny. Let's see. Thanks for the updates. Lizella has about 30 minutes, but it's supposed to be coming. Yes. What's Jones County looking like? So we had the storm come through South Jones earlier. It's now, you do have some lightning strikes up in northern Jones right now, but all of this is headed towards Jones County in the next little bit. We're about to go on, aren't we? 30 seconds? Okay. We'll see you in a sec. It is a severe weather day, to say the least, in central Georgia. I mentioned right before we wrapped things up about 30 minutes ago that a new tornado watch had been issued. Well, here's the tornado watch. It's literally almost just us. Washington down to Trutland, Lawrence, Dodge, Pulaski, Dooley, Macon, Taylor, Crawford, Upson, Monroe, Jones, Bibb, Wilkinson, Twiggs counties. Again, going to run until 11 a.m. So let's get to the radar picture and talk about what's going on right now. So changes here in the past 30 minutes. The severe thunderstorm warning that was in Wilkinson County, the storm that's now moving into Washington County, that warning has been dropped. The tornado warning that was back into Meriwether County and into Upson County, that has also been dropped, but it has been replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning, and that storm is still very strong, still capable of producing a tornado down the road. When we check out the winds here, what you're going to notice is we're looking from the Peachtree City radar up there. So we've got winds blowing towards the radar here in the green, and the red, we've got winds coming away from the radar. So this is happening on a large scale, and what we're watching for here and over the course of the next few minutes is, does that get stronger and does that tighten up in a particular spot? And if it does, that's where a tornado threat would come in which case we would see a tornado warning be issued. So heads up in Culloden, heads up in western Crawford County, continuing to watch this storm very closely there. Otherwise, I could go to 5 different things right now, so I'll tell you what I'll do first. Is the rainfall. We do have a flash flood threat in central Georgia today. We have seen a ton of rainfall over the course of the past 24 hours. Anytime you get over this pink color here, that's over 6 inches of rain. So Hancock County, Putnam County, Monroe, over towards Upson, Pike, Lamar, back out into Troop. Now, of course, that stair steps down the further south you get. But in the areas that have already seen a lot of rain, those are going to be the areas that are under that flash flood threat through the day today. So that is going to be what we're watching for through the course of the afternoon. When we zoom this out and look across what we've got coming, there is more rain back into Alabama, more storms back into Alabama, but really I think the biggest severe weather threat is where that storm in Upson County is right now. Again, that's moving generally speaking in the direction of Monroe County, in the direction of Bibb County over the course of the next hour or so. So we're going to keep an eye on everything here in the Weather Center. The tornado watch going until 11. We're going to be here through it all. And then we're going to track the storms as they move south throughout the day today. The last of the weather is not going to get out of here until about 5 p.m. tonight. So a high of 79 today, 71 for Tuesday, a 40% chance of rain tomorrow. This front's going to move down to the south and then stall out once again. I think we'll be okay on the rain front, at least to the north, and then warmer by the time we get to Friday. All right, we are back. Let me get back over to the radar here. Halfway through CBS Mornings now. Okay, so here's what we got going on. As I just said, we lost this warning in Wilkinson, Baldwin, the storm moving into Washington County. Still heavy rainfall, still lightning, not a severe thunderstorm. It is now weaker than what it once was. But this Upson County storm still concerning. And it is continuing to move into northern Crawford, into Bibb County. We've got a flash flood warning just to the north of that. I was just talking about that there during the cut-in. And that's what we're seeing at the moment. So let me see what other questions we've got. What is the hail chance in Bon Air today? There's a chance. I would be keeping an eye on the radar. There's certainly a chance today. Ivy got shook at 5 a.m., woke you up. I assume that's probably from the thunder. Also, I think you got hail and ivy. Did you get hail and ivy? Can you type in the comments whether or not you got hail? I'm curious to know. After the storms, cool weather will appear again during the week. That's right, highs in the 60s. No power at Springdale Elementary. So our folks in our newsroom, maybe that's something we could check on. Springdale Elementary, no power there. Haddock to Macon for a medical procedure. David, when would that be? When would you do that? When would you make that drive? Let's see. Macon under a shelter in place. No, Macon is not under a shelter in place. If we get a tornado warning, maybe that changes, but, you know, we don't right now. Let's see. Lamar County, no need to take shelter there. Outlook for Roberta. I think the worst of the weather is going north of Roberta, but still some storms before all is said and done. Let's see. Ben must be on spring break. Actually, Ben works in the evenings. I work in the mornings. Let's see. Wilkinson County. The northern end of Wilkinson County. And so this is interesting here. That storm came right through Wilkinson and it was like, goodbye lightning. So Sandersville, you've got Wilkinson County to thank to weakening the storm. Let's see. Haven't heard anything about Warm Springs. It's raining out there in Warm Springs right now. I think the severe weather threat's coming to an end out there. Let's see. After the storms, will cool weather appear during the week? Yes. Basically, okay, severe's leaving. Oh, you're answering the question about Wilkinson. Yeah, okay right now. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to move this card out of the way. Yes, you're okay in Wilkinson right now, but we are watching those storms for a bit later. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, so a message from Bibb County Schools. They're saying, please be safe driving to school this morning. They're aware there are a few trees and power lines down, which there are, and buses might be delayed because of that. Yeah, they just sent the message. Yeah, so we got the same Bibb County Schools message that everybody else did. Let's see. Hail map. Let me see. I'm looking on a different computer. There's nothing jumping out at me on the hail map, but I'll show you here on this one. Let's see what we've got. And see there in Thomaston, just a little bit of hail there. And that's going to do it. Is this headed towards Lake Tobo, Lake Wildwood? Yes, it is moving in that general direction. So that warning goes for the next 13 minutes. I'm curious to see whether or not they'll extend it. Oh, that's a little interesting right there. That could be something trying to form. No, it's not. I mean, it's still broadly rotating, but I think that's okay. I think this, I was looking at that. I think we're okay though. Let's see. Trees and power lines on Wesleyan near Tatnall. Yes, there is a tornado watch, Robin, until 11 a.m. What's the news for Roberta soon? Roberta, the worst of the weather going to your north. Probably going to hear a lot of thunder, but the heavy rain is going to be in northern Crawford County. Headed to Sparta from Gordon, says Sarah. Good luck with that one. That's going to be a fun ride. Let's see. What will it be like in Perry? I got storms coming in the next few hours. Hey, Justin, can we check on Wilkinson County Schools? Can we see if we get an update from them? The time frame from Milledgeville with the storm coming through for Scythe. Milledgeville will be about an hour. Yeah, I'm getting a fair amount of comments about Wilkinson County Schools, Justin, if that's something we could get validation on. Looks like, did they just update that one? Hold on, I heard a, oh, they issued a flood warning. Oh, the Talladega River. Okay, so we're also getting confirmation, this is just outside of our area, but Pike County schools have now closed for the day. So Pike County, which is, just right there next to Lamar, north of Upson, they are closed for the day. Should Macon Bibb still be concerned about tornadoes or just flooding? I'm going to be concerned about tornadoes for maybe the next 2 hours in Macon Bibb. Let's see. Anything in Lamar? No, I think actually Lamar's severe weather threat is done for the day. Cody, pretty sure that cell that went through Macon possibly dropped a tornado using the Jeffersonville radar site. Showed tight rotation. Well, let's look. We can do that. That would have been... So, if it did that, I assume you're talking about that right there. So that would be 658. Yeah, I mean, there's something there, but that doesn't mean that there's necessarily something. Now let's look at that. I don't think it did. So here's the thing. If this thing dropped a tornado in Macon Bibb, there are enough things for it to hit in this area that this map would not look like this. There would be a big blue donut on this map right here. And it's so close to the radar site that I think that's how that would go. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom back out. So we're watching this. Let's see what's going on here. I'm curious. So when I move the map around like this, I'm jumping around to the different radar sites. See, like there's Peachtree City. Actually, that's Jeffersonville. Oh, why did I do that? That's Peachtree City. There's Jeffersonville. I can come down there. Oh, it went back to Peachtree. I see. Okay. So it's this area that's now in Crawford County, right in here, that is that we're watching closely. If somebody here at 13, so Sarah is saying that there's roads flooded in downtown Gordon. Can we check with Erica and see what's going on there in Gordon? Power on Northside Drive now. Okay, so that's a interesting point. So Monroe County Schools, you are delayed until 9:30. I think you'll be okay in Monroe County at 9:30. I think the worst of the weather will be out of there. I think you'll be okay at 9:30. Let's see. Should Milledgeville be concerned about tornadoes? I think you're okay on that front. I think you're okay. Sarah, do you have any pictures, Sarah, you could send us? If you do, you can message them to my Facebook page. You can send them to the 13 WMAZ page. You could send them anywhere. We'll be sure to get them. Let's see what we've got. Hopping over to my Facebook page to see if I know my watch has been buzzing, so I know I've been getting messages. Light and Tie Road in Jones County. What about Yatesville? Coming to an end in Yatesville soon. Very soon. Let's see. So it looks like... What is that? Oh. I'm looking at something on my phone here. It was weird. The radar I was looking on my phone didn't have the warning on it. I thought they had dropped it for a second. I was like, why did they do that? I'll tell you what, though. Looking at this radar now, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a new bigger warning come out soon for southern Monroe. Gusty winds. I don't like the look of that in Crawford County. I really don't. How does that line up with, that would be a... So there's two spots here that are catching my eye. One is in Crawford County. Now, it's not tight by any stretch of the imagination, but it's this here. But then also, see how you get like a little turn right there? I don't like when that happens because it can turn tighter and you can get a tighter rotation. But that is interesting. I'm going to run back over here to this computer and see what this looks like over here. It's a bit of a spike. Good news on the hail front. Obviously, we had large hail come through North Macon. We're not seeing a ton of hail now. In fact, nothing that's even like to severe level hail. Very much anywhere. Let's see. It's trying. Would that be? See, that boundary's in the rain though, so that would be. So we've got technically. We've got this warning for another 5 minutes. To be honest, I don't know what they're going to do with it. They might let it go. In which case, we would take a break and then hop back on if it comes back out, if another warning comes out. But you know, as I'm saying that, I'm looking at this rolling North Macon. I'll just stay on the stream. I mean, no harm done in staying on, because that's going to be coming right through Macon here in the next little bit. Let's check in on the Skycam. See what we got going on out there. Pull this here. Sun's come up in Dublin. So that's just, oh, you know what? I wonder if we lost power at, I think that is exactly what happened. So our Macon Skycam is down. It's not that dark outside. There's Perry. Look how fast those clouds are moving. There's Dublin. Yeah, so the sun has come up. Our Macon Skycam is down. See, so it's not storming everywhere. Looks like a nice morning in Dublin. Okay, so I do now have some confirmation. Here's what we're going to do. The warning, this severe thunderstorm warning, they're going to let expire. All right, so this right in here, what you see in Thomaston, this was the tornado warning storm back in Meriwether. This is Thomaston, this is Crawford County. The winds are now weak enough that they have made the decision to let this expire. Now, you're still looking at heavy rainfall, Bolingbroke to Crawford, the Crawford County line there, back into Culloden, back into Thomaston, and all of this is going to be moving into Macon, just like that. And as it does so, we're going to be talking about heavy rain. I think we're okay on the hail front, maybe some gusty winds at times. I know there are some trees and power lines down in a few spots, so it's going to, the work on that doesn't need to happen over the course of the next hour or so, because there's a lot of lightning moving in as we speak. It is on the Bibb County line. Talking specifically about, I think I heard near FPD there was some trees and power lines down. Wesleyan Road, Wesleyan Drive, Wesleyan Road, some issues there. Don't need to be working on that from now until the storm passes, until you can't hear the thunder anymore. And I know you can hear the thunder here because we can hear it over here at 13 WMAZ. I just heard a rumble here just a second ago. So we don't need to be doing any of that. But this warning, this yellow polygon is going to go away here in about 2 minutes. And when it does so, we're going to stay on the stream, despite there not being a severe thunderstorm warning, because this is going to be moving through Macon. And I know we're going to have a lot of questions, so we'll be doing that. But again, this warning is going to expire, and we will be, at that point, severe warning free here in central Georgia. So some welcome news on that front, but even though we're going to lose the warning, we still have this tornado watch in effect until 11 a.m. So Upson, Monroe, Bibb, Crawford, Jones, Baldwin, Washington, Johnson, Wilkinson, Twiggs, Bleckley, Lawrence, Dodge, Pulaski, Houston, Peach, Crawford, Taylor, Macon, and Dooley counties until 11 a.m. Do that 5 times fast. And that will be the case there. So, like I said, this warning is going to go away in about 35 seconds. That yellow polygon will flash off of the screen, and we will be looking at a strong storm rolling into Macon, but not necessarily a severe storm. So coming up on 8:15 here, I've got about 20 seconds left on this. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Yeah, we can keep going. It's like counting down to New Year's, right? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there it goes. So what we're left with now is this flash flood warning, which is the other big story in all of this. I mean, flooding is a problem, especially areas to the north. We have seen a ton of rainfall. There's been no secret about it. And that is what we're seeing right now. So I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave the stream up, but I'm going to take a brief break, get caught up on what's going on so that I know what to tell you. So Justin, I'm just going to turn my mic off, and we'll just kind of leave this going. And I'm going to hop back on if we have any new information. So I'm going to leave the radar loop going. We technically don't have any severe weather right now. We do have a strong storm coming into Macon, and I'll be back on here in just a moment. Okay, so here's what's going to happen here in the next few minutes. We are going to be doing another cut-in here on CBS Mornings. And in case you're just joining us, this is a loop of the radar and what's going on right now. The severe thunderstorm warning that we had in parts of Crawford, Monroe County, that has been allowed to expire. And now the heaviest of the rain here is now moving into Macon. And that is what we're going to be watching here over the course of the next little bit. But coming up in just a minute or two, we're going to be doing another cut-in during CBS Mornings. So I got to punch some stuff up for that. And we're going to be talking about what to expect. But before we do that, let's see what's going on. So in terms of a tornado threat, I really don't see anything that jumps out at me, so great news on that front. I don't think we have a tornado threat at the moment. We do have a tornado watch in place, but no tornado threat. Imminent tornado threat, I should say. But still, very heavy rain that's about to move into Macon. All of this, let's see if I can get a motion on it. Moving east at 40. So let's track this moving east at 40. Just like that. There we go. So into downtown about 8:40, so 20 minutes from now. Carolyn Creighton Park, 8:44. Milledgeville, 8:54. Gordon, 8:58. I did also, we checked in, so somebody, the comment about the flooded roads in Gordon, there's a water main break in Gordon, and that is what that is from. 906 in Dry Branch, 915 in Linton. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. And I'm still trying to get confirmation on Wilkinson County Schools. Let's see. Can... let's see. Just called Wilkinson. No. Okay, good. That's why I was trying to get confirmation. So Wilkinson County Schools. Wait, Justin, I saw you just sent that, but where'd it go? Oh, here we go. No, still. Okay, good. No changes in Wilkinson County. No changes. So some more information here on Gordon. There's a water main break at Kennington Road and Pine Street. There might be some standing water in that area, and it's causing some low water pressure around Main Street. So the flooding in Gordon is not from rain necessarily. It's from the water main break. Let's see. So this is what we have going on right now. So in about 4 minutes or so, we're going to do another cut-in here on CBS Mornings. And when we do that, I'm going to do what we've done twice already now. We're going to fade to black, and then I'm going to come up on TV, and it's going to be the same on the stream, and then I'm going to go away, and then I'm going to come back. And just bear with us. It's the magic of TV. It's what we got to do. And we're going to be tracking the line of storms you see on your screen. So that's coming up in just a few minutes. Maybe 8:26 is when that is. It's just a lot of lightning out there. North Macon, Monroe County, Jones County, Crawford County. I'm just seeing a ton of lightning strikes through the day today. And good news, at least on there might be a little bit of hail within that, but not a lot by any stretch of the imagination. It is going to be maybe dime-sized, if there is any. I'm looking at a different map over here, and there's like a little bit of brown between Forsyth and Crawford County. We'll see it here in the cut-in just a second. But that would not be a lot. Obviously, that flash flood warning is still in effect for Monroe County. They have really racked up the rainfall totals. It has been more than 6 inches in a handful of spots in Monroe County, and adding to it now, and now moving into Jones County, moving into Bibb County. And all right, so here's what we're going to do. In a couple seconds, the radar shot's going to go away. It's going to go to black, and then we're going to come up on TV, and you're going to see that, and we're going to do a full update in terms of what we're seeing here. So we can go ahead and do that, and we'll see you in a sec. Good morning, I'm 13 WMAZ meteorologist Alex Forbes. We are continuing to track severe weather this morning in parts of central Georgia. A tornado watch in effect until 11 a.m. That's going to be Monroe, Jones, Baldwin, Wilkinson, Twiggs, Bibb, Crawford, Peach. And we get on over to the radar picture, you'll see why that's in effect as we are looking at a ton of lightning. With storms that are rolling in. Now, some changes from when we last talked. The severe thunderstorm warning is no longer in effect in Monroe County. There is still a very strong line of storms that's in Jones County, now in North Macon, that's continuing to move towards the east at about 40 miles an hour. So I'm tracking the worst part of it here, or I should say the leading edge. It's going to be moving into downtown here in the next 10-ish minutes. Carroll and Creighton Park about 8:41, Milledgeville about 8:51. Ivy, I've had a lot of questions on our streaming right now about Ivy. 8:55 is when this is moving in. Dry Branch 9:03, McIntyre 9:15. But a ton of lightning within that. Let's see how many lightning strikes we've seen so far. I'm going to come in here, let me grab the question mark, draw the box, and this is going to tell me 200. Yeah, 258. I was close there. So 258 lightning strikes in the past 10 minutes in this red box you see right here. So that is a lot of lightning. I would show you our Macon Skycam, but it is down. I'm not sure. It's at Atrium Health Navicent. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I can't pull it. At least, let me double check. I couldn't pull it up earlier. I believe it's still down, but let me see if I click into it here. And I got a black screen on this screen. What happens? Yeah, see, it's not dark outside. That's how I know it's not working. But it looks kind of nice down in Perry. There we go. Just some clouds moving by. But yeah, so that's what we got going on right now. Obviously, it doesn't look nice in North Macon. That's what I was trying to show you. But no warning at the moment. Not expecting to get a warning. But we are also contending with a fair amount of flooding. So while I've got you, I do want to let you know if you are in Taylor County or if you are in Crawford County along the Flint River, we do have a river flood warning in effect. Forecasted crest here at 32.6 feet. That puts it in moderate flood stage. It's right behind the computer there, but that's going to be right there along the county line. The Ocmulgee River here in Macon forecasted a crest at 25.2. That puts it into moderate flood stage. That's going to be Wednesday morning. And then for the Oconee River in Milledgeville, it has already crested at 28.8 and is now falling. I'm trying to get updated numbers for you there. I will try to have that for you here in the next cut-in. Flood watch in effect through this afternoon, and then a severe weather threat, a level 2 threat as this line continues to work its way down to the south. The threat for damaging winds, a brief spin-up tornado, and of course the large hail. So there's the line moving down to the south through the day today. The last of the storms don't get out of central Georgia until about 5 p.m. and then we'll begin to clear out through the overnight hours. Then for tomorrow, a level 1 down to the south. We are going to pick up the rainfall as well, an additional 1 to 2 inches rain down to the south. Luckily, we're not going to see quite as much additional rainfall up to the north, because we have seen just plenty of it. We really don't need it anymore, but we are expecting some locally higher amounts in a few spots. 70s later on this afternoon, a high temperature of 79. We'll be keeping an eye on the radar. I'll tell you what, Bonnie, could we fade that computer out? Sunrise, there we go. Oh, that went to the Skycam. But if we could get the 7-day forecast, that would be great. There we go, 79 for today, 71 for Tuesday, a 40% chance of rain. That's going to be mainly to the south tomorrow. And then once we get into the middle part of the week. How about 60s for highs on Wednesday? And if you like the warm stuff, we'll be right back to it on Friday. All right, we'll keep you updated here at 13 with any new information. There we go. Okay, so thanks for sticking with us through that. Let me hop back over to the radar picture because we are looking at these storms coming into Bibb County, really like our most populated parts. I got a lot of graphics in my show, so I got to scroll up like 7.5 miles, and then we'll get there. So here's the radar picture in terms of what we got going on right now. There it is. There's a lot of lightning in and around Macon. So the line of storms, this is the storm that was in Meriwether County earlier that we were tracking the tornado warning with. I think we had a tornado there. This is what's now moving into Macon. So there's Jones County covered up in lightning. If you are along Arkwright, Bass Road, say Zebulon Road, starting to hear the thunder. Let's zoom down in here. And there it is. So this is not a severe thunderstorm warning. Good news on that front. It is not a severe thunderstorm warning. It is a band of very heavy rain, a lot of lightning in it. Let's check out the winds. Nothing really jumping out at me, which is good news there. If we query, say, some of the strongest wind gusts, if we query that little green pixel right there, that's 42 miles an hour. That's right along Forsyth Road. I believe that's probably close to where that Kroger is on Forsyth Road. Riverly Drive, that area, 42 mile an hour winds. But that's below severe weather criteria, so good news on that front. Zoom it back out. And in terms of a tornado threat, I know we've been talking about that all morning. There's nothing jumping out at me at the moment. We do remain under a tornado watch, but there's nothing, at least at the moment, that's catching my eye. Obviously, the rainfall catching my eye. Seen a lot of it. Seen over 6 inches in several spots across central Georgia. And we're going to continue to watch this line move to the south, add to the rainfall to the south, and eventually dry out where this flash flood warning is in effect. We've had several road closings, particularly Upson County has seen a fair amount of that. And in Gordon, we are monitoring a situation there that is not exactly weather related. The water that's in Gordon right now is from a water main break. That's not necessarily road or flooding from this event. It is, as I said, a water main break. So continuing to monitor the details on that one. Let's see, power outage, Bass Road. The Walgreens and traffic lights were out pretty dark. That's from our Camila Williams passing that along. I don't know when she took that. We'll see if we can get that punched up for you here. Let's see if I can pull it in this computer. So water main break in Gordon, some standing water possible. Power outages, we have had power outages here in central Georgia. I do know, actually, as I was just talking about, Bass Road, Bowman Road had a power outage. I believe I heard of one on Wesleyan Drive. Yeah. I'll tell you what, so I'm seeing a picture now. It looks like there's rushing water, I-75, 475 at the Bibb-Monroe County line, says our Raymond Tubb. Raymond, could you potentially pull that camera up on the producer computer and roll on it? That would be for some good video. Looking at it, that 475 north at 70. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's right where the split is on 75. Looks like there's some standing / rushing water following I-75 where it splits. You know, just that south of that rest area there in Monroe County. Yeah, Raymond, if you could roll on that, that would be fantastic. That'd be a good video to have. Let's see. So again, no severe thunderstorm warning, just that flash flood warning you see. Although, you know what? We might get one here shortly, and here's why. I just noticed this on a different computer. Look at this. Look at the hail. It looks like we've got hail again in North Macon. This is going to be just south of Lake Wildwood, Lake Toposophy, over towards Lizella. There's Middle Georgia State University, so Eisenhower Parkway, Thomaston Road, Lake Wildwood, Zebulon Road, right about there. This is below severe weather criteria, but that would be moving into downtown. So this has flared up here in the past few minutes. This is just south of where the hail came through earlier. It was really mainly to the north, northern Bibb County, but that's fairly new right there. So this is moving into downtown in the next few minutes. Here we are at 13 WMAZ. And we got some hail headed towards us. It looks like the biggest part of it here just went right over the Lake Toposophy area. And this is now, so they're, in the vicinity of, Foster Road, headed towards that area, Thomaston Road. And all right, so we just got a severe thunderstorm warning. So there's your 2-minute advance warning. They issued this for hail. And this is a big severe thunderstorm warning, just as the rain is starting here at 13 WMAZ. So This is going to carry us now until 9:15. There's Jones County and Bibb County. When they issued the warning, what they did was they issued it for the threat of damaging winds, but then also quarter-sized hail moving east at 40 miles an hour. So if we draw this out like this and say east at 40, try to follow that warning box there. And here we go. We got downtown Macon 835 right now. We hear it here on our roof. Got Rutland at about 842, Gordon at about 856. So we are dealing with that water main break in Gordon. And now we got a storm coming in on top of it. So if you're working on the water main break, you might not want to do that in the next 10 minutes. Ivy 857, McIntyre 911, Irwinton 915, Toomsboro 921, and Sandersville 932. And that is for the leading edge of what is now a severe thunderstorm in Jones County from the gray area down into Macon now. And we're tracking hail along with this as it moves into Macon. So no secret about it, an impactful weather warning here. And that is why, right there, why that severe thunderstorm warning was issued. So we now have hail over an inch in diameter, 1.2. Get that off the screen and zoom that down in just a little bit more. So this 1.2 inch in diameter hail is right along Mosley, Dixon Road, Johnson Road, and it is moving towards where it comes out to the Publix right here. So there's Thomaston Road, there's 363, and then 475 is right here. Right, so there's where you get off on 475. You go down to Publix and all of that's there. Lake Tobosoffke, you know, obviously just right down here. There's Lake Tobosoffke there. So the heaviest of the hail, although there's the new update and it doesn't look quite as strong. It looks like the storm. Whoa! I think we're getting hail here at the station. I have never heard that here. Wow. Wow. Okay. That was intense. Yeah, there's the worst of it here. Rochelle's messing me ask when she should leave, our producer. Not right now. That was okay. I'll tell you what, leave my mic up. I kind of want to go look outside. Let me grab my badge. See if you can hear this. Oh, you know what? Let me grab my phone. Hello? I don't think. Okay. That I've been in a Category 5 hurricane, and that was insane. Here, look at this. Look at it. I assume my mic is on, but I can't hear myself. Okay. Well, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm here. Maybe the audio board, you can hear me? Okay, cool. Okay, so we just took a power hit here at 13 WMAZ. Our generator kicked on. I did go run and look outside. I can tell you one thing. There I am. Okay, and it just popped back in my ear. I have been in a Category 5. Technically, when the hurricane came over me, it was a Category 4. That was crazy. That was easily the most intense storm I've seen here, and obviously the worst of it came right over us here at 13 WMAZ. We had hail out there. It was about dime-sized hail from what I could see. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw larger hail in and around Macon-Bibb, but man, that was intense. So if you are in parts of West Macon, southern Jones County here into Twiggs County, you've got a very intense storm coming your way right now. That is coming. So if you are in this area, let's flip this back over to the hail size. Yeah, look at that. Very large hail in and around Macon. That's what just came over us here at 13 WMAZ, and that's what's now moving into Jones and Twiggs County. So do not be going outside right now. All right, when I went and looked, I barely opened our door. I did not step outside. And I'll tell you what, the door I opened, it's got a big cover over it. It's where we keep the storm lab. I had the door open just like a little bit, and we were getting water coming in under an awning. So this is some intense stuff. So that dark green right here, notice this is where we get up there on the scale. We're looking at 1.5 inches of hail in diameter that came through Macon and is now working its way into Jones County. So we're going to keep this severe thunderstorm warning going here for the next little bit. A ton of lightning also within this. So obviously the severe thunderstorm warning goes up towards Gray, up towards Baldwin County. A ton of lightning there in Macon. But the most intense part of the storm is going to be what's in Macon here, moving towards Gordon. Okay, so if you are in Gordon and you can hear me, and if you know somebody who is working on the water main break there in Gordon, tell them to come inside right now. The storm that just came through here is coming to Gordon shortly, and it is very intense. You're in a severe thunderstorm warning. It is raining in Gordon right now. That is not the most intense part of the storm. So if there are people working outside in Gordon, you need to be coming inside. This is coming for you right now. It's got to get through northern Twiggs first. Again, this is not a tornado. This is, let me say that a bajillion times, this is not a tornado. This is a very intense, severe thunderstorm that really ramped up as soon as it came into Macon, and it is moving fairly quickly. Pass this along to the Weather Service. All right, so we're going to continue to track this to the east now. Let's move it like this. So we draw this track like this, and we're going east at 40.
Power outages in Macon.
All right, power outages in Macon. So yeah, no surprise there. And I was just talking to the Weather Service. I think we're thinking 60 to 70 mile an hour winds is what just came through Macon. So there's Dry Branch 848, Gordon 857, McIntyre 911, Irwinton 916, Toomsboro 923, Hazard 937. So again, this part right in here, so what's now over Okmulgee East Boulevard, moving towards Twiggs, that is the most intense part of the storm. Let's see, turn off the lightning there so we can see it. Right in here. So there, Okmulgee East Boulevard runs right like this. So this is just north of there, right along the Jones County line. So Gray Highway is right about there. That's continuing to move towards the Dry Branch area. And just as quickly as we're talking about it, the radar updates. So let's draw a new track here. And you can see, actually I don't like the look of that. You can see right in there, let's see if we can query some of these winds. Oh, I got to turn that off. Let's see. 52. I think it's a little stronger than that. What we got there? 40. Let's It's as strong as I'm getting. Let's see if we can back it up and see if there was a flare up here over Macon, which there was. Yeah, look at that. So right as it came through Macon, there's 831. There's Macon 835. Yeah, it just came right over us, right like that. That was very intense. So that was 835. And it looks like now it's at roughly the same strength as it was when it came through Macon. So if you are in Dry Branch right now, you got a powerful storm coming. It's not a tornado. It is a severe thunderstorm. You got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. But northern Twiggs County, Gordon, you need to be inside in Gordon. You got to be inside in Gordon. Looking forward, this is going to be Irwinton out here. You always got McIntyre also in Wilkinson County, but it's Dry Branch right now. Let me get some roads in here because this is road worthy. Myrick's Mill. So along US 80, south of 540. Let's see.
Close to 6,000 power outages in Macon.
Yeah, so Wanye's here with me. We're getting information that there's close to 6,000 power outages in Macon, which I believe, man, that was something. And I'll tell you what, Sarah, if you can, Wanye, do you mind if we turn your mic on?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. What was it like in the newsroom?
So literally in the newsroom, we saw the power was starting to flicker a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know, I've been here for 5 years, so I know when the power is getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
And sure enough, when the power started to flicker, we could hear the storms really ramping up outside.
Yeah.
It went out, and then, you know, it usually takes about 30 seconds a minute, and then the generator will go ahead and kick on. But I mean, we're seeing the impacts right now, 5,998 power outages just here in Bibb County. Along the interchange, especially I-75 and also I-475, we're starting to see some localized flooding around that area. So right now is the time, if you are watching us, just stay where you're at, stay put at work, stay put in your car, stay put at home, because it's really not a time to be traveling.
That's right. And thank you for mentioning that, because this is something else. I've been showing rainfall maps all morning of rainfall the past 24 hours. All right, this is the past hour. This is from 7:30 to 8:30, and we've picked up over 2 inches of rain in parts of Macon-Bibb, mostly southern Monroe County, now into Jones County, and it's still raining. So like we've been talking about all morning, this flash flood threat is still very much there. This is as of 8:30. You know, here we are a couple, say 17 minutes later, and we've had this intense storm come through since. So all of these numbers are about to skyrocket. And again, all of this on top of the past 24 hours, we've seen over 6 inches, maybe even over 8 inches in a handful of spots here in central Georgia. So that, I expect this region to just grow south as the rain keeps moving south. Let's see. Our friend Courtney checking in. Yes, she saw the same thing we did, Macon. We just got rocked in all caps. That would be correct. Our Camila Williams saying that Riverside Drive is living up to its name right now. I assume that means that there's standing water on the roadway there. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, that was really intense here in Macon. I've seen a lot of things, and that was something. That was something. So Dry Branch right now, what we saw in Macon coming towards you, Gordon. This is coming towards you. Really hope the message got out there to whoever's repairing that water main break, because, man. Okay, so here, let me turn the lightning off and show you something interesting here. I can tell you this storm is very strong. Look at this S feature here. The S goes from Dry Branch up like this and back around. That is an interesting signature there. Let me also, since I'm talking about an S. All right, yeah, a little rotation in here. It's that right there that we're going to watch to see if any strengthening happens with. Let's see if we can get any better wind data now. Let's see if we click into Dry Branch. There's 56. So I think all these winds are a little stronger than what the radar's picking up. I know for a fact they were stronger in Macon than what the radar was picking up when the storm came through Macon, because I have 2 eyes and my eyes don't lie. That was something. So if you're tuning in Macon, say you saw the storm, you felt the storm, you got a question about, okay, well, is it over? Yeah, so this is the worst part of the day in Macon. What we just saw, that's as bad as it's going to get. conditions will improve from here. So obviously it's still storming. The leading edge has come through. We're going to deal with rainfall for 2 to 3 additional hours, but the most intense part of the storm has come through Macon. So still contending with the lightning. Still don't go outside in Macon. Not the time to go ride the bike, but the leading edge of it is working its way into Wilkinson County. Now flip side this. Turn it up on end. If you are in Irwinton, if you are in Gordon, if you are between Gordon and Irwinton, if you are in this part of Twiggs County, north of Jeffersonville, let's see if we can get some more roads in here. If you are right along 57 Massey Hill, you need to be inside and you need to be prepared to be rocked in all caps, as Courtney said, because that was an accurate representation. So 57, Georgia 18. What else we got in here? What is this road? See if it wants to come up. It doesn't. We got Nob Hill Road, Hartford Road, Farish Wood Road, Gordon McIntyre Road, Gordon, obviously. Got to be inside in Gordon. Got to be inside in Gordon right now. Claymont Road, Clayfields, Derrick Road. Looks like you got a Corey. Dedrich, Eggers.
And Alex, I got an update for you too.
Yeah, what's up?
So right now, Georgia Power is showing that we have 6,070 outages here in Macon-Bibb County. Our Camila Williams, she's on her commute into work, and right now she's saying on Bash Road, the street lights are out, so that's around that area of the Publix and the dry cleaning and those gas stations and everything right now. Amerson, parts of Amerson are going to be closed today. So this is coming from Macon-Bibb County Communications. Parts of Amerson River Park are closed due to the flooding from the Ocmulgee River.
Right.
Those areas include the boat launch, dirt trail, and others marked by barriers on site. So right now, I believe it's fair to say that travel is pretty treacherous across Macon-Bibb County and a lot of central Georgia.
Absolutely.
So once again, just keep still if you can for just the next 30 minutes, an hour, so they can get the power restored and, everything working like normal.
Yeah, and the other thing about Macon is this is our second storm. We had one come through earlier this morning, which is actually what initially did that power outage at Bass and Bowman, because we were getting messages about that about 7 a.m. And I really hope that they were not trying to fix that with this storm coming through, because if you were in a bucket truck in that, I couldn't see my car, which is parked in the parking lot, out of the back door when this came through. This is going to be something we're going to be talking about for the next week or so, because that was, wow. So expecting to hear of power outages, expecting to hear of traffic issues here in central Georgia. Also, a good note on the river stuff. It's not only the Ocmulgee River that's having issues right now. In fact, the Flint River is having more significant issues. Over on the Taylor-Crawford County line, it is expected to reach 32 feet by tomorrow morning. There's going to be a lot of water coming down that river there on the Taylor Crawford. All right, so we're going to cut into 13 WMAZ now. We have a tornado warning. So Bonnie, if we could do that. Just let me know what you want to do in my ear. And this is for Gordon. This is a tornado warning for Gordon. Okay. So in the meantime, until we get on, if you are in Gordon right now, you need to be going to your tornado safe place. So again, this is going to be a tornado warning for Gordon. I haven't heard anybody in my ear yet. If Bonnie is, somebody can let me know. And we're going to get this on TV as quickly as we can. If somebody could just let me know. I don't see myself on TV, so I assume we're not there. All right, well, in the meantime, okay, we're on. Okay, so if you are just now joining us on 13 WMAZ, we are interrupting with I'm not sure if you can see me at the moment, but we just took a power hit. We are covering a tornado warning for Baldwin County, Jones County, Twiggs County, and Wilkinson County. This is going to run here for the next 6 minutes. This is a quick spin-up tornado. If you are in Gordon right now, I need you in your tornado safe place. I'm not. no, don't be scared, be prepared. We do have this area of rotation just south of Lewiston. That's technically going to be in Twiggs County, I believe, and this is moving right into Gordon right now. And what we're seeing, at least as of this moment, is not a drop off in the correlation coefficient, actually maybe a little bit in there, but nothing that's organized. And this is moving into the Gordon area right now. So if you are in Gordon, I've been saying it for the past several minutes now, I need you in your tornado safe place. What we've got just south of Lewiston is a potential tornado that is coming into the area. I believe that's going to be the Fall Line Freeway that goes around Gordon and then up towards the Ivy area. So it's going to cross that. This area rotation is going to cross that, and it's going to be moving into really Gordon. I would try to pick out streets, but it's the whole city. I know Gordon's not very big, but this rotation is going to come right through here. So Westbrook Road over to Ballpark Road, Macon Road, Main Street, Kennington Road, Milledgeville Road there. If you are in Gordon, you've got a tornado warning in effect. We haven't confirmed the tornado, but we do have a clear rotation signature right in this area that is moving in the general direction. So Massey Hill, Ivy as well. I need you in your tornado safe place. The schools there in northern Wilkinson County, Dedrich, up to 441 is included in this warning. So yes, Wilkinson is in this warning. Obviously, the rotation is in Twiggs County. I know Jones County is included in this. If you're watching in Jones County right now, I think you're okay. We're looking at the far southern end of Jones County, and to be honest, the rotation's right in there, so it's already going to be moving south of that county line. And then Baldwin County also clipped by that warning. I think you're going to be okay there. So I'll tell you what, let me run over here. I just want to check something really fast back here, make sure that we are good to go on this end. We are tracking a tornado warning, in case you are just joining us, in Twiggs County that is coming across the Wilkinson County line into Gordon right now. It spun up very quickly. The warning technically only lasts for 4 more minutes, but this is the type of stuff we're dealing with in central Georgia this afternoon. Quick spin ups that has the potential to make it a couple miles, of which Gordon is in the path of that. So lowest level, most interior room. Again, don't be scared, be prepared. Know that there's a tornado warning. Know that you have the knowledge to protect yourself from the tornado by going to the lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows, as this is now coming across the county line. Already, I can tell you that the rotation signature, not as strong as when they issued the warning, as we expect, that whenever this type of stuff happens, it spins up, it drops, it comes back up, and that's that. Now, what I'm interested to know here is whether or not that reached the ground. Let's take a look at what we have. Yeah, and there's nothing clearly jumping out at me. Well, it's not clear. You could make an argument for potentially what you saw drop out right there, what is now here. Again, it's not clear by any stretch of the imagination, but we did have rotation tighten up, and already it is a lot more broad. So 8:57 now. This warning goes until 9 a.m. This might be the shortest tornado warning I've ever covered, but it's the nature of the storm. It's what we're dealing with today here in central Georgia. I still need you in your tornado safe place in Gordon, at least here for the next few minutes. Let me check in and see what they want to do with this warning. Let's see. Yeah, so moving east at 20, capable of producing. There was no it was radar indicated, no confirmation of it, but this is Gordon here. There's Massey Hill, Lewiston over towards Ivy. Technically still included within this, but we've got less than 2 minutes left on it now. So we might be able to hop back at 9 a.m. If you're watching us here in Macon, Wanye's here with me, noted that over 6,000 customers without power. If we could turn on Wanye's mic.
Yep, and we do have an update for you. So now Georgia Power is reporting 9,016 customers throughout Macon-Bibb County are without power. Just checked in with Flint Energies. They're reporting at least 74 people are without power right now as well. We're seeing a lot of stoplights all throughout Macon-Bibb County, and probably honestly other parts of central Georgia as well, where the stoplights are not working. Yeah. So if you do get to those stoplights, just a reminder, you do want to treat it like a 4-way stop. We were telling you a little bit earlier on this morning as well that parts of Amerston River Park are closed right now. We're seeing flooding with the Ocmulgee River, but that's not just the Ocmulgee, also the Flint River as well. So our digital team, I know Justin is back there working hard to make sure that we're getting all these updates to you online. But once again, that's 9,016 customers with Georgia Power. They are without power. Flint Energies is also reporting some power outages as well. And just all throughout central Georgia, when you get to those stoplights, you definitely want to make sure that you're treating it as a four-way stop. So we're going to go ahead and remind you one more time, if you don't have the 13 WMAZ app, I'm telling you, it is an excellent resource to you. All these stories that I'm telling you about right now, it can be right there at the palm of your hand. You can download it in the Google Play or Apple App Store, or you can go ahead and pull out your camera and scan that QR code that's right there on your screen. I want to give you a few seconds in order to do that. And once you get the app, you just want to be sure to sign up for notifications, and you will get the latest weather and news alerts sent directly there to your phone. So we're going to go ahead and send things back to meteorologist Alex Forbes.
Yeah, Wanya, so good news. We said that the warning was going to expire. They have allowed the warning to expire. So still a severe thunderstorm warning, still a very intense storm in Gordon right now. This is going to continue to press towards the east. But since the warning has expired, we're going to sign off now on 13 WMAZ. Our coverage continues on the streaming service, on our website, on YouTube, on Facebook. So be sure to join us there. And with that, we'll send you to Live with Kelly and Ryan. All right, so we're back here on the streaming. That's how it goes, where you can get a quick spin-up tornado warning, like what we saw here. So if you were, say, to the east of Dry Branch, if you see any damage, if you see anything that might look like tornado damage, please take a picture and send it to us here at 13 WMAZ. It was a quick rotation that spun up, but I've got to be completely honest with you. In the grand scheme of things, this storm is so much bigger than that rotation that a lot of people are being impacted right now. You're feeling the impacts in Gordon. You're feeling the impacts in Coopers. Irwinton, you're next in line. If you are in Irwinton right now, you need to be prepared to be pretty shooken up by a storm that's coming through. We felt it here in Macon. The heavy rain continues here in Macon over towards Lizella, still hanging on to a few lightning strikes as well. As we've been talking about, we're seeing issues in Macon, and I'm just getting a report now at 1501 Mercer University Drive that there's a large tree down. I just looked it up on Google Maps. It does appear that that is the part of Mercer University Drive that is right there on, by campus. Something else to be mindful of course, power outages. Treat any power outage at a stoplight. Stoplights are not working like a four-way stop, so be respectful. Everybody is late this morning. It's not just you. Treat everything like a four-way stop, because obviously if you don't do that, you create even worse driving conditions for other drivers out there. And we're going to be talking about not great things on the roads. Now, we've been talking about this morning the storms. The flooding is also going to be a big problem here in central Georgia. Obviously, flash flooding right now, but river flooding over the course of the next few days, namely the Flint River, forecast to get up to 32 feet on the Taylor-Crawford County line. Let's see. Got somebody here at Teams asking me at the station, when should they leave? Just for everybody here at the station, I would not recommend going outside over the next 30 minutes. A couple of things. One, the rain obviously still coming down, the lightning, but I mean, just what we're seeing on the roads, those are a disaster right now. And Wanya Reese here with me as well. Justin, our digital manager, sent me a message saying he felt that one that hit the newsroom in his chest.
Well, you see, I could definitely, I see where Justin is coming from. And, I've been here at the station for a little while, so This is obviously not my first rodeo. And it definitely did shake the building quite a bit. But even before the power went out, I could tell that I was getting ready to come out because things were continuing to flicker. And speaking of power outages, Alex, I'm really seeing here on this Georgia Power map, it seems like a lot of those outages are pretty much concentrated around downtown Macon, Mercer University Drive type area off of Eisenhower and Pionona as well, where we've seen that down tree. So just taking a closer look here at the map, but it's seeming like downtown Macon, Mercer University Drive, that Mercer University area is where it's really bad. And Raymond just updated us. The power outages have went down a little bit, so now it's down to 8,669, which is some good news. But once again, if you get to a stoplight, treat it just like a four-way stop. You definitely want to make sure that you're taking your time. And now is the time, if you are at work, if you're at school, if you're at home getting ready to leave for work, just stay home, wait out the storm. There's no need to go ahead and head out right at this minute, because it's obviously a very fluid situation right now. Right. And we definitely want to make sure that you all are being safe. Like Alex was saying, no need to panic. No need to panic at all. We definitely want to make sure you're good. I see people checking in Milledgeville, Lawrence County, Wilkinson County, those counties as well. If Alex is not mentioning your county right at this moment, it means that you all are good. Y'all are in the clear. Just because we're not seeing your county doesn't mean that we don't love you, but we're just focusing on the people who are currently being impacted right now, Alex.
That's right. And it's worth noting that we are focusing on Wilkinson County right now because that is where the strongest part of the storm is. However, almost all of central Georgia is in a tornado watch until 11 a.m. So I know the questions are in there. What about Pulaski? What about Bleckley? What about Lawrence? You are in a tornado watch until 11 a.m. You need to be prepared to take action should a warning be issued for you, like it just was in Twiggs and Wilkinson, if that happens to you over the course of the next several hours. But for the moment, we have a very intense storm that just came through Macon, and that storm is on Irwinton's doorstep. So if you are in Irwinton right now, I tell you what, you are in for something. This storm is continuing to move towards the east. It's got a ton of lightning with it. It still might have some hail in it. In fact, I'm curious to know if it does. Let's see. It does. So just south of the Gordon area, this yellow right here, that's going to be over an inch in diameter. That's going to be moving towards, I believe that's 441 that runs through Irwinton. Yeah, 441. So there's McIntyre. If you are in Clayfields, if you are in McIntyre, if you are in Irwinton, I would recommend not being close to doors and windows right now. I would recommend being inside an interior room. It's not a tornado. It is very gusty winds, and it is large hail moving into your area as we speak. Toomsboro, also, you're just down the road. This thing does not stop at stoplights. It keeps on going. So Toomsboro, shortly after, we're going to be talking about a hail threat moving into your area. Now, let me turn the radar back on, but then turn off the lightning. And this is really interesting. This is where the meteorology in me can come out. What I see here is the storm just like swallowing air. That's what the little notch is in Irwinton right there. And it's in spots like that where you can see rotation pop up. But when I looked at the velocity just a moment ago, I'm not seeing anything that really stands out. But what is interesting to me is just how the whole storm is rotating. So you know how I always say the radar is in Jeffersonville. Well, there it is. There's the radar down there spinning around. So this is fairly close to the radar. And what's happening here is, let's see, where are my arrows? So we've got winds going towards the radar like this, right? Going something like this. But then there's red in here. You got winds coming away from the radar like that. So it's not broad. It's not tight. It's very broad, but technically there is a little something going on there, or a big something going on there in terms of its scale. But you know, it just goes to show you how powerful of a storm it is. But I really think right now, obviously, intense winds, hail coming into Irwinton, McIntyre, and then eventually towards Toomsboro over here. If you are in those three spots, it is headed towards your area. So now let's start forward thinking again. We always got to start thinking ahead. Oconee, Tennille. This is headed towards you. This is getting into Washington County after Wilkinson County. Harrison, Riddleville, and a very intense storm coming your way. And I mean, to be quite honest with you, I'm looking at it now, thinking back to what it looked like when it was in Macon coming through around 8:35, 8:40. It looks pretty much the same to me. I think it's at the same intensity that it was when it came through here. Technically, we lose the warning in a few minutes, but they got to reissue that one. They got to do that. So let's track this to the east now at 40 miles an hour. 38, 40. So we got Irwinton right now. We've been talking about the storm for a while now. Irwinton, 9:08. Toomsboro, 9:16. Oconee, 9:25. Got Hazard at 9:30. Harrison, 9:47. Wrightsville, 9:54. And Bartow at 10:06. So if you are in this path, buckle up, because you got an intense storm coming. And honestly, since I drew that, the radar advanced once again, and that is that. So getting a report from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office that they have a number of traffic lights out around town, and Lieutenant Sean Defoe wants to remind everybody to treat it like a four-way stop. That is something to note. And then also, we got a call into our newsroom about maybe some damage in Dry Branch. And Wanye, also some news here on City Hall.
So Chris Floor with City Hall here in Macon-Bibb County, he's reporting that City Hall and then also that is going to be the tax commissioner's office are temporarily closed right now. We're also seeing from GDOT West on their Twitter page, this is according to their Twitter page, they're seeing a lot of closed roads all throughout their counties. And they're also encouraging everybody, if you see those barricades up, if they already have those barricades up, do not drive through those signs. They have those barricades up specifically for a reason. You know the saying, turn around, don't drown. We definitely want to make sure that you all are staying safe. Once again, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office is reporting that they're seeing a number of traffic lights out all throughout the county right now. So they're asking you to treat it as a four-way stop. Here within Macon-Bibb County, we're seeing about 9,000 power outages. Taking a look across central Georgia when it comes down to Georgia Power, we're not seeing too many power outages out in other locations here in our area. And I know that our managers and our news team, they're working right now to make phone calls to EMA directors to see what's going on in those parts as well. Taking a look right now, I-75, I-16 interchange, it looks like things are moving a little slowly around those areas. Typically, when we see a lot of rain, those areas are always the first to flood because they're very low lying and they're not too far away from the Ocmulgee River. So if your commute is going to take you to the I-75, I-16, also the I-75 and I-475 split, you definitely want to make sure that you're packing some extra time into your commute because it can be very treacherous. Once again, we do have updates that are coming constantly through that 13 WMAZ mobile app. So if you don't have that app downloaded yet, you can download it for free in the Google Play and also the Apple App Store. I'm gonna get you over to my good friend Alex. He has an update for us.
Yeah, an update from the Macon Transit Authority. The terminal station building is going to be closed until further notice due to flooding. So if you have anything there, that coming from our Anthony Montalto, the combination of rain and wind caused flooding at Terminal Station this morning. Also, a quick note for our newsroom, the stuff in Dry Branch, if we could try to figure out a street address, not to report on TV, but so that we can map it with the rotation and see if that was tornado damage, that would be great. And so that we can figure that one out. We've been talking about the stoplights, obviously a big thing. And if you see any pictures, Bonnie, I don't know if you've got that app. The app thing that we could put up. If you see any pictures, we got a fantastic feature in our app called the Near Me feature. All you had to do is go into it and hit the Near Me button in the bottom right. There it is. You can download our app by using that code right there. And you can send us pictures and videos using that Near Me feature. And the really cool thing is when you do it, it goes to everybody here at the station. So, you know, you don't send it and it gets lost in the abyss. You send it and somebody sees it fairly quickly. And we're trying to we're trying to paint the right picture of what happened in Macon, and we need your help to do it. So send us the pictures, send us the videos, send us the information so that we can relay that out to the public, especially if it is information that is impactful to the community, because that's what we're here for after all. All right. So the storm that came through Macon, still packing a punch. We technically lose the warning here in about 3 minutes. And what we're going to do is I'm going to see if they're going to reissue it. To be completely honest with you, the winds on this, at least on the radar, the winds have never looked that bad, but they were. And as of now, they look weaker than when they came through Macon. Now, when they came through Macon, it was saying like 50 miles an hour. It was a lot stronger than 50 miles an hour. In fact, oh, you know what? This didn't go over the airport, so we don't have an accurate wind speed measurement. But I suspect we did a lot higher than that. So here we go. This is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning. I told you they had to reissue it. So this is going to be Wilkinson, Washington, Lawrence, and Johnson. It also has this tornado possible tag on it. And this is going to continue here now until 10 o'clock. Now, the good news is, yeah, I can hear you, Rochelle. Okay. All right. All right. Sounds good. And how long will this be? Okay. Sounds good. All right. We're going to hop on TV here in a second. We'll see you in just a moment.
Coverage of Live with Kelly and Ryan to bring you severe weather coverage that we're seeing here in central Georgia. Right now, Georgia Power is reporting that 9,334 customers throughout Macon-Bibb County are without power. City Hall, also the tax commissioner's office, is going to be opening a little bit later. And also the terminal station right now is closed due to all the rain that we've been seeing due to flooding there. So let me go ahead and get you to meteorologist Alex Forbes. He has a check of your forecast. And I mean, Alex, this storm is rocking central Georgia.
Man, I tell you what, I was here in the studio and I have never heard noises that I heard just a few moments ago when that storm came through Macon. This is a loop of the past hour or so. It flared up right as it was coming into downtown. At 13 WMAZ, we are right here on Gray Highway. We kind of caught the brunt of it, and now the storm is in Irwinton. It's making its way towards Wilkinson County. The National Weather Service just reissued the severe thunderstorm warning on this. It's going to include the southern part of Washington County here. So if you're in southern Washington County and Johnson County, say northern Johnson County, we're going to be talking about obviously a very intense storm rolling your way. And obviously this stands out, right? A tornado possible. We were on air just about 15 minutes ago with a tornado warning in parts of Twiggs County. So yes, tornadoes are possible with this, but I've got to be completely honest with you. This storm is capable of causing, this whole storm right here is capable of causing as much damage as a tornado. Now, the beeps that you're hearing, I know everybody knows the beeps. This is a new flash flood warning that was just issued for Macon. So this is going to be Macon, Gray, Milledgeville. If we take a look at the rainfall, that was the other, man, the rain was coming down. The rainfall over the past 3 hours, anything over yellow here is over 2 inches of rain. So that's Thomaston, Culloden, Bolingbroke, Macon, Gray, Gordon, over 2 inches of rain just within the past 3 hours. What if we look at the past 24 hours? That is crazy. Over 6 inches of rain in Putnam, parts of Jones, now parts of Monroe, over towards Upson, Pike, Lamar, and over into Troup and Meriwether County. This is as of 9 a.m. I expect this is going to continue to expand as the rain is continuing. So let's take a look at the big picture. What's going on? Lots of questions. What about my neighborhood? All right. So if you've seen storms today, that doesn't necessarily mean your severe threat is over. I know it's not how it usually works, but that's how today is working. We've got this line, really just a fire hose of rain right now from Troup County over through Upson, Monroe, Macon, and it's all being led by this really intense storm that has prompted the warning for Sandersville. Now, in Roberta, we had a storm earlier. Taylor County, we had a storm earlier. All of this is going to continue to slide down to the south through the day today. And as it does so, it's going to have that capability of producing severe weather. Everybody, or almost everybody, is in a tornado watch here until 11 a.m. And this is actually another mind-boggling thing. You know, whenever we see tornado watches issued, they're issued for a very large area. And say, just for example, not today, say it would be central Georgia, central Alabama, southwest Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. Today, it was just us. This is it. This was the whole watch right here. It's going to run until 11 a.m. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an additional watch come out, but it's going to continue at least here for the next little bit until that storm gets out of here. I mean, we're going to be contending with some serious stuff. The other thing is the lightning. We obviously saw a ton of that in Macon. Well, it's continuing into parts of, oops, I drew the wrong spot. It's continuing into parts of Wilkinson County, and actually some welcome news, I think, on our end. So what you're seeing here is the number of lightning strikes. This is down to 321. We did get up over 600 or 700. And what I'm seeing here is obviously a lot of lightning back towards Gordon and Coopers. Well, the more transparent these lightning strikes are, the longer ago they occurred. And what I'm seeing is not as many new lightning strikes. There still are new lightning strikes, but not as many as we previously saw. So maybe that's a weakening trend on the storm. We would enjoy that part. But still, Oconee, got a fairly intense storm coming your way. Harrison, Wrightsville, this is going to be packing a punch, and then eventually it's going to move out of Washington and Johnson County over into Emmanuel County, and then once you get over towards Jefferson County, and then it will be moving out of central Georgia and not a concern for us. So over 300 lightning strikes, still a very loud storm. But obviously the big story is what happened here in Macon. I really think we caught the worst part of it. We're dealing with power outages, close to 10,000 customers without power right now in Macon. So maybe you're watching us on the phone. If you are driving, a lot of power lights are out, or a lot of stoplights are out. The power is out at the stoplights. Treat them as a four-way stop. Bibb County Sheriff's Office wanted to remind everybody of that. And of course, if you see standing water on the roadway, please, 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 please do not drive into it. only 6 inches of moving water can sweep your car away. 6 inches, that's it. So if you are driving down the road and you go, oh, I drive a truck, that's not a problem. It is a problem. Please do not drive into standing water. You can find another way to get there, or you can just not go in this mess. More people die from flooding in cars than any other way, and I bet you they never expect to, and they say, oh, I can make it, and then they don't. So please do not drive in flooded roadways. Please do not drive near rivers right now, especially the Flint River, down into parts of Crawford County and Taylor County, the county line right there. It is on the rise. This morning, in fact, I need to go back and get the update on this. This morning, it was forecasted to get to 32 feet by tomorrow morning. I bet with all the rainfall we're seeing right now that number is going to be higher. So that is between Roberta and Butler, where you cross the Flint River. It's that spot right in there. Obviously, the Ocmulgee River having problems as well. Amerson River Park, parts of that's going to be closed today because the river is very high, and is, the problems will only be exacerbated by all of this. And the other thing is the level of the river right now doesn't matter. You got to get all the runoff, all the water that just fell in Macon, all to it. The storm drainage system, it's not the snap of a finger. It's going to take a minute to get there. So, Wanye, I think you've got some more information for us.
All right, so once again, if you're joining us, you're watching continuous coverage of the severe weather that we're seeing all throughout central Georgia. So we're going to go ahead and let you know what's going on. So we want to take a moment to remind you to send us photos and videos only when it is safe for you to do so. Your safety, trust me, it is our #1 priority. But if you have trees down or you see some damage in your area, you can share them with us. You can just go ahead and text them to the number on your screen. It's right at the bottom, right there. As a matter of fact, it's 478-752-1309. Once again, text your damaged photos to 478-752-1309 only when it is safe for you to do so. Or you can upload them through the Near Me feature on our app. And speaking of the app, if you don't already have it, I'll tell you how you can go ahead and get it downloaded. You can download the app in either the Google Play or Apple App Store, or you can quickly, if we can get that graphic up here on the screen for me, please, Miss Bonnie, just give us a little bit of time. We'll have a QR code. There you go. You see it right there. Just open up the camera on your phone and you can just put your camera up to the screen so that you can scan that QR code. And once you get the app, be sure to sign up for notifications and you'll get the latest weather and news alerts sent right to your phone. So right now we're going to go ahead and send things back to Alex. Obviously, this is a developing situation, Alex.
That's right. And Wanye, we're going to continue to cover it on 13 WMAZ Plus, on Facebook, on YouTube. We might even send a carrier pigeon out there. But we are going to send you back to Live with Kelly and Ryan here in just a moment. But before we go, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. Southern Washington County, Johnson County, Wrightsville, and Harrison. The storm is on your doorstep. We're going to continue to track it on streaming, so be sure to join us there. And with that, we'll send you back to regularly scheduled programming. All right, everyone, we're going to continue coverage here on streaming. I at least have some good news here on this Monday morning. So where I live, I was one of the people who lost power this morning. They got a text at 7:02. Well, I just got another text from Georgia Power that power is back on where I live. So it looks like we're making progress, slowly starting to get power back on. Good news on that front. If you are in Harrison and Wrightsville, though, the storm that came through here, it is coming towards you. We are talking about a very intense storm this morning with a tornado possible tag on it in effect for the next just over 36 minutes here in central Georgia. Now, I haven't checked in on the winds here in a little bit. There's nothing jumping out at me. I know we've got the tornado possible tag on it, but there's nothing saying to me, hey, like what we had in Twiggs County earlier, there's nothing saying that that's happening in the moment. But this is a very intense storm. It hit us here at 13 WMAZ. It is coming through Oconee right now and is moving towards Harrison and Wrightsville and Johnson and Washington counties. Dublin, you're okay. I know you're on the map there. The storm is going to the north of you in Dublin. you can see, I'm gonna put the loop on this. Let me loop this over the past 30 minutes because this storm is booking it. And if I do the hour, it's going to be a shoot from off the screen across. So Irwinton, Sandersville, again, kind of what I mentioned earlier, I'm not seeing as many new lightning strikes. So some welcome news on that front. And Wanya, you got something new?
So right now they're saying here in Macon-Bibb County, this is coming from Chris Floor, that they have scattered reports of trees down around Macon, some blocking roads. If you see something like that, you can call the non-emergency number. So something important to highlight, if you are seeing down trees in your neighborhood, do not dial 911. You'll want to dial the non-emergency number. That number is going to be 478-751-7500. Again, that number again, it's 478-751-7500. But once again, some trees down here in Macon-Bibb County. And as of this point right now, Alex, we're still seeing at least 9,000 power outages here in Macon-Bibb County.
Right. And you know what? The reality is we're probably going to add to that in Twiggs County, Wilkinson County, and Washington County here over the next little bit. And the other just reminder here is that we're not done. All right. We had the storm come through Macon. We got more coming. Now, this isn't necessarily what we just saw. It's not, in fact, it's not even severe, but there's more rain, more thunder, and more lightning coming to Macon here over the course of the next little bit. And this is why we have been concerned about the flash flooding threat. If I flip this over to say the whole radar, this is just a fire hose of rain. It is moving from west to east, and we are going to be right here in the middle of it, here in Macon. So we have got several hours of rain to go. The rivers are high. We're already seeing some flooding on the roadways. And with that, they just updated that severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see what they did to it there. There's Wrightsville, tornado possible. That's still there. Actually, now noticing a flare up in lightning, so that's interesting to note. 60, okay. So this is also new. Wanya, apparently the entire traffic light at MLK and Walnut Street came down.
Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely believe that just because the winds, Alex, they were just so strong. So if you're getting off of I-16 coming from Lawrence County, you make a left off of I-16 and heading into downtown Macon, the stoplight has actually came down at MLK Jr. Boulevard and Walnut Street. And that's very believable because the winds earlier, Alex, when we were feeling it before we had our first power outage, it was actually shaking the building. I mean, you can actually feel it moving.
Oh, yeah. And so, and for everybody at home, the studio we work in, it's real tall. So like the ceiling that's in our studio here is the outside ceiling. That was just wild. Like that, I can only imagine what it was like if you were like close to a window. You know, that was a strong storm that came through. But the good news is, at least for us here in Central Georgia, not necessarily for everybody, but for us here in Central Georgia, is that the leading edge of this storm is about to cross out of our area, and it'll be out of here in probably the next 20 to 30 minutes. Because as soon as it crosses this yellow line right here, that's when you enter the Augusta and Savannah TV markets, which means people here, they're watching the CBS stations in those cities. So welcome news on at least on our front, but man, we'll be happy to give this one a swift kick out of here and have that one be history. But, I mean, through the day today, I know we just had a strong storm here in Central Georgia. The story is going to be the flooding. I'm telling you now, it is going to be the flooding. It's going to be the river flooding, and it's also going to be flash flooding because the rain is going to keep on coming through the day today, at least through the next few hours. And spots that just saw the heavy storm, the rain is going to continue. It's going to, notice how... All right, so let's follow that lightning bolt right there. It's moving west to east. So Monroe County, which got this storm before Macon did, it's storming again. And Upson County. We were talking about Upson County during the morning show. It's now 9:29. Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. Back into Alabama, you still got a flash flood warning back over towards the Montgomery area. It's still raining there, and all of that is moving in towards the Macon area. So really, if you are Monroe County, say the northern extent of Monroe County here, down to half of Crawford, down to Roberta, you are going to be in the rainfall. This is where the flooding threat is going to be setting up. So there's Monroe, there's Macon, and then you get on into Jones, Baldwin County. This is where the training is going to be, and this training is what's going to prompt the flash flooding to occur not only in the rivers, but also on the roads. I can tell you, at least over the past little bit, we have seen several inches of rain. And by past little bit, I mean past 3 hours. Forget the days worth of rainfall we saw before this. This is just the past 3 hours here. Everything got over yellow. This is 2 inches of rain. And take a look back into Alabama, right? This is where the rain is continuing. So we're going to continue to add to these numbers here over the course of the morning hours, and then into the afternoon, the line will begin to sag south. And that's the other thing in all of this. It's 9:30 in the morning. We've been doing this since 5 a.m. This isn't going to be over until 5 p.m. It's going to take it that long to get from where it is in Macon right now and work its way down to the south and work its way out of central Georgia. And then tomorrow, the storms will be firing back up in areas that are not seeing it right now, but we'll see storms later today. So let me go through Future View and show you kind of what the general thinking is. I don't think Future View has handled the past few days very well. I remember when I was here on Friday night and it showed Sunday morning clear as a whistle, and we had a tornado in Milledgeville. So take this with a grain of salt. Take this as an idea of what's going to happen, not necessarily lock it into stone. So by noon, say it's picking up on what is the actual line right now, say from Washington County down to Thomaston and Butler. It's going to take from noon to 5 p.m. to get that from here down to here. And that is after we go through this rainfall for the next 3 to 4 hours. And then the winds will come in and we'll slowly cool off behind it. Tonight down into the 60s. And then tomorrow, there we are at 7 a.m. Now let me take this hour by hour. So here we are at 7 a.m. Get this to about noon, right? So here's where the flooding issues are going to be: Forsyth, Milledgeville, Macon, Jones County, Washington County. The silver lining in tomorrow is that the heavy rain and the storms are going to be down to the south. So there's noon. Play this to the afternoon. There's 2. Still possibility of some rainfall, but that's there. I'll tell you what, I'm hearing a lot of dinging out of the National Weather Service chat. Let's see what kind of information we got there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot. So,
Alex?
yes, if you don't mind.
So, Alex, he's going to get right back to us, but right now here in Macon-Bibb County, Georgia Power is reporting 7,913 power outages that we're seeing here in Macon-Bibb County. And also a lot of you are talking to us on Facebook Live right now, just talking about how you're seeing localized flooding on a lot of roads all throughout Macon-Bibb County. Just to give you some more information, if you're just now joining us here in Macon, City Hall and the Tax Commissioner's Office are going to be opening a little bit later on. The terminal station here in Macon-Bibb County, they're actually having to close today due to all the rain. They're seeing some flooding in their facilities. Nonetheless, all across central Georgia, not just here in Macon-Bibb County, we are getting reports of some power outages and lights out and some roads being blocked. So if you're getting to a road that's blocked, if there's a sign or if there's a tree that's blocking it or anything like that, don't try to go around it by any means. Please just go ahead and turn around. And if you get to a stoplight and it's out, just a reminder, we definitely want to be treating those as a 4-way stop. And Alex, I want to talk about it. They have a lot of power outages in Atlanta, and we know that they got a lot of severe weather this morning. And the thing that I'm worried about is that we have the Ocmulgee and we also have the Flint Rivers as well. And it may not be that bad today, but we still have to get through the rest of the week where the weather might be clear, but the river is going to continue to rise.
That's a great point. So let me pull this up really fast. This is the past 24 hours. All right. So any rain that has fallen up in Atlanta has not necessarily made it here yet. So here's the interesting thing. The heaviest rainfall, here's Atlanta here, and here's Macon. The heaviest rainfall has happened close to us, but the Ocmulgee River Basin starts at the Atlanta airport. There's actually literally a creek at the Atlanta airport that is the start of the river. And all of the water that is in the river basin, so say the Ocmulgee River Basin is right through here, because you've got the Oconee River over here, and then you got the Flint River down here. It's all of this water that has fallen in this area has to come down through Macon. It has to come through the Ocmulgee River. Now, the other thing is the Flint River, which of course starts in somewhat the same area up there in Clayton County. The amount of water that has to come through the Flint River is a lot more. And that's why the forecast for Taylor and Crawford counties, where you cross the Flint River right there, is up above 30 feet. All right. In fact, let me pull that up. I can't show you at the moment, but I can look at some information here and relay it to you. The Flint River at, what city is that? What city have I been saying all morning? Hold on, I got it right here. Carsonville? Yes, Carsonville. I'm standing in front of the numbers because I have a funny feeling it's not going to be right now. But the forecast now for the Flint River at Carsonville, which is the official USGS observing spot, the gauge height is now at 21 feet. Flood stage is 17 feet. Yesterday, it was at 4 feet. So we've gone from 4 feet to 20 feet on the Flint River. And let me see if I can get the latest hydrograph from the National Weather Service. And that's the other thing. When we're talking about these numbers, they take into account what has already fallen, not what's coming. So the latest forecast is now 32.6. Is that what I had earlier? I think it is. So what that tells me is that number is probably going to go up because it hasn't been touched yet. It's still raining in the Flint River Basin. So I really think the worst river flooding in our area is going to be the Flint River between Roberta and Butler. The Okmulgee is going to have its own issues. At Amerson River Park, we obviously know that part of that is closed today, and that's going to do it for us. All right, so if you're in Macon right now, we're not done. We got more rain coming. We got several hours of rain coming in Macon. It's raining at Bass and Bowman Road again. It's raining at Zebulon Road again, and it's going to continue to. Probably still hearing a lot of thunder. The heavy storm has moved away. It's in Washington County now, in Johnson County. And I can tell you what, just by the look of it, it's not as strong as it was. So that's some good news, at least on that front. It's already raining in Harrison and Wrightsville right now. But this storm is losing its punch, so that is some good news there. So this warning goes until 10 a.m., and I mean, we'll see what they do with it, but I really think it has run its course. It is in its weakening stage, which means we can loop it now over the past hour. See how the lightning has really dropped out when it came over Macon, and that's now about to cross out of central Georgia. And really, when I was talking a few minutes ago about, the lightning strikes were beginning to fade away, that was correct. That was a weakening trend in the storm. And whenever you see the lightning come down, typically what's happening is the storm is just kind of letting everything go, which is why we got the extremely heavy rainfall, which is why we got the hail. And it's luckily weakening, luckily for the folks in Sandersville and Wrightsville, but also seeing some development out ahead of it, which can also cut off some of the energy being worked its way in here. So now that we are giving that storm a swift kick out of here, here comes more. So for this morning, we have been talking about Macon. We're talking about Forsyth, Gray. All right, so now it's time to talk about Warner Robins. All right, what's over in Butler right now, the storms that we're seeing develop out there, now moving towards South Bibb, moving towards Warner Robins. Now, these aren't severe storms, but I am noticing, we're picking up some more reds here. We're picking up some more lightning strikes. We're getting a developing storm. Peach County, Fort Valley, Byron, this is moving in your general area. Not what we just saw in Macon. Far from it, I hope. There's no signs that it's going to do what it did here. It's an entirely different storm. But everything's starting to coalesce here. Remember I was saying this morning the line's going to come together? That's what it's starting to do. Watch this animation right in here. See how that just kind of gets swallowed up in there. You get the lightning strikes right along with it. And we're going to hopefully begin to watch this move to the south, although it's not showing any signs of it just yet. But yeah, if we could get this out of here, that would be great. So we got 22 minutes left on this warning. But as I was saying, I really think it's probably still a strong storm, but I really think it's losing its punch. And if y'all could tell me what you want to do, so here in the next few minutes, the severe part of the storm, the leading edge where the heaviest winds are going to begin to move out of our viewing area. So at this point, I don't know, Rochelle, if we have any pictures or anything ready to go.
Yeah, we got some more updates for you. So the city of Gordon is saying that they're currently under a boil water notice So they're asking everyone to please conserve as much water as you possibly can. And Kennington Road at Pine is also blocked off. Once again, that's happening in the city of Gordon. For those of you who live in Monroe County, we're seeing more road closures there as well. So McMullen Road, Smith Road between Zellner and Floyd Road, and then also Bernards Road and Baynard Road. We're also seeing some closures in those areas as well. Right now, just getting a live look at the Georgia Power outage map, we're seeing 7,986 power outages all across Macon-Bibb County. We're seeing a lot of street lights around, so if you get to those street lights, you do definitely want to treat those as a four-way stop. Once again, if you're just now tuning in and joining us, City Hall and the Tax Commissioner's Office here in Macon, they are going to be closing a little bit, opening rather a little later. Once again, City Hall and the Tax Commissioner's Office, they're going to be opening later this morning because of the severe weather. The terminal station, that is going to be closed today because they actually saw some flooding in the area as well. So it's definitely a lot going on. And we want to remind you to take a moment to send us photos and videos only when it is safe for you to do so. I realize that a lot of you are watching us here on Facebook Live, so you can text those photos to us. Remember, your safety is our priority. So if you see any downed trees or any damage in your area, you can send them to us. Just go ahead and text us to the number on your screen. I know our great producers are going to pull it up for you. It's 478-752-1309. Once again, you can text those damaged photos to us. That's at 478-752-1309. 1309, or you can upload them through the Near Me feature on our 13 WMAZ app. So our app is an excellent resource. I know a lot of you already have our 13 WMAZ app, but if you don't have it, you can go ahead and download it in your Google Play or Apple Store. Or if you're watching us on TV or if you're streaming us on TV, you can scan that QR code with your phone. I realize a lot of you all friends, y'all don't have power right now, but if you don't, remember you can text it to us. Once you get the app, you can be sure to sign up for notifications, and we'll be sure to send you the latest news and weather updates directly to your phone. So a lot of you all have been sharing photos with us, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of those photos. I mean, just take a look at this photo we got in of a downed tree right here, Alex. I mean, the viewer says it's downtown near Hotel 45. That's in front of Mercer Village kind of area. So I know Hotel 45 and Mercer Village, those areas are not really close together. So just taking a closer look at it, that does look like that's Mercer's campus right there. And I mean, it's pretty incredible what these storms can do. Take a look at this photo right here. Someone actually scooped up some hail from their porch with a spoon. This is just some off of Briarcliff Road here in Macon. And this viewer sent in this photo from the front of their home, and you can see that hail is covering the deck of her home. This is off of Ridge Road out there in Twiggs County. Another photo right here of hail. I mean, this is, it looks like snow. Yeah. You know, it's so much hail that has come down. So Natty lives on a Hammock Road in Macon. He sent in this photo of what he says is quarter to nickel size hail. So once again, when you all send us these photos, we can go ahead and just get them verified and make sure that we're getting everything checked. And I do want to remind you again, if you do have any of those photos, you can send them to us through email, through the 13 WMAZ app, or you can just text them through us as well. So if you're just now joining us, I'm just going to go ahead and update the Georgia Power map so I can see what's going on here in Macon-Bibb County. We still have about 7,986 power outages that we're seeing here in central Georgia. And just excuse me, I'm just taking a look at my phone. We have some messages coming through right here. Yeah. So Spalding County, the roads in the vicinity of Hedge Creek Reservoir are being closed, and residents are actually being told to evacuate, not requested, but being told to evacuate due to the heavy rains, Alex.
Yeah, that's right. So a post on the sheriff's office page. The contractor performing work at Hedge Creek Reservoir up in Spalding County, it's just north of Monroe, is asking the county to close nearby roads and evacuate residents to ensure the safety of the community after they have experienced 7 inches of rain with more coming. So I was saying earlier this morning, I've been saying all morning, that flooding is going to be the issue, and that's now what we're seeing in Spalding County. And the rain is continuing. So we're going to be talking about this for quite a while. Through the early afternoon, to be quite honest with you, in Macon and Forsyth and Culloden and Roberta and Thomaston and all these places that have seen several inches of rain already, talking about that. Now, Wanya was showing some of the hail pictures, so this is interesting. Yeah. I pulled up when you add up all the hail in terms of what we've seen this morning, here's how it shakes out. In fact, let me see if I can turn these warnings off, and then we can get a good scale here. So anytime we get over the greens. Let's see if that will work. I'm trying to get the legend to come up, but that's the radar legend. Anytime we got over the greens here, that was over 2 inches. That was over 2-inch in diameter hail. So it's not surprising to me that we saw hail pull. In fact, I saw it with my own eyes here at the station. We saw hail, accumulate on the ground. Man, I still can't believe that happened here. That was just wild. I'm sure everybody else in Macon is saying the same thing. And guess what? At least for us here at 13 WMAZ, we're about to do it again. Not the same thing. We're about to have another storm again. This heavy rain, lightning coming. It's not going to be what it was before, but we are about to add to the rainfall here, and it's going to make for an interesting next few minutes at the station. Something else to note: we lost power here on Gray Highway. What did you say? Down for like 20 minutes, Wanye? 20-ish minutes. Our generator was running.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure just normal protocol here at 13. I don't know if Taylor, if you heard it when you were coming in, that generator, it literally sounds like an 18-wheeler firing up. So the generator is probably still on because the storm came through, and you can see the lights in here in the building. They were starting to flicker a little bit, and sure enough, within 5 minutes of our power just kind of flickering, that's when the power went out. And a lot of people here in Macon, they still are dealing with power outages. We're continuing to see these numbers fluctuate. They're going up and down, but they're more so starting to fluctuate on the higher end. So right now, Georgia Power is saying that we have 7,988 power outages that we're seeing right here in Macon-Bibb County. And a lot of those outages, we saw that down tree. I'm going to go ahead and say I think I know Macon pretty well. That was right near Mercer University, near the Mercer campus. College Street, yep. So College Street, so right around that area, but we're seeing a lot of the power outages here downtown and also Mercer University Drive, Mercer campus. That's where we're seeing a lot of power outages. But Alex, folks on Facebook, they're saying that the storm was bad too. They said the hail was just coming down so heavily.
Oh, I know. And it was the hail and the rain. I opened our door here just to see what was going on outside after I heard our roof make noises I never heard it make before. And probably not the smart thing to do. I don't recommend doing that. I literally could not see my car in the parking lot. It's maybe 40 yards from the door, and I could not see it. I don't know who was driving in. Somebody was driving in. I felt bad for them in the moment. But yeah, it was something. It's certainly something we're going to be talking about for a while. But again, like I was saying, what we've got rolling in right now, this is not the same thing. This is a different, is a part of the same line, but a different part of the storm. And Wanye, some good news. I believe we just dropped the warning.
Oh, that's
I believe
good.
we just dropped the severe thunderstorm
Praise
warning.
God.
Yes. So the weakening trend continuing with this storm. So with that, all right, we have the tornado watch that continues for the next hour and 13 minutes. I would not at all be surprised if we see that be expanded in some form. But as of now, we are severe warning free. There's nothing that's jumping out at me on the velocity maps. But what we have and what is going to be the story is the flooding. We have a flash flood warning in effect for Baldwin, Jones, Twiggs, Wilkinson. This is going to go until 3:15, and then another one for Monroe County. That's going to go Zebulon, Forsyth, LaGrange. Let's see if I can get this one to pop up. That's going to go until 12:15. Now, I just saw Spalding pop up here. I'm curious what... Yeah, that's a flash flood warning for until 3:30. Oh, you know what? They issued it for that reservoir that we were talking about. So yeah, the severe thunderstorm warning canceled. Large tree down and vehicle damaged at Mercer University Drive on Mercer University campus. That's coming from the National Weather Service there. Multiple trees down on Eastview Avenue and Sherling Drive in Macon. Do what?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that tree that was down, that was definitely, it's fair to say, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. That was definitely near Mercer's campus. And it's very interesting to see because like I was explaining to you earlier, Alex, those power outages that we're seeing, a good bulk of them are definitely around that area, Eisenhower, Mercer University Drive, and then also here in downtown Macon. So it seems like that campus may have taken a little bit of a beat. And so I'm not sure if anybody in the newsroom can check in with Kyle Sears with Mercer University just to see if we can get any reports from them as to what they're seeing on the ground there. I'm not sure if those students are going to be in classes. Are they on any type of delay or anything like that? If we can check in with them so we can see what's going on, please.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at a map here. So I've got 2 reports of trees down near Mercer, one on Mercer University Drive and another on College Street. Yeah, so if we could, I think there was a street sign in that picture. If we could get that cross street, we could get that location. Regardless, it's trees and power lines down. We also have them on trees and power lines down on Sherling Drive. This is going to be Sherling Drive and Eastview Avenue, power lines and roadway power lines blocking the roadway. That's reported from a ham radio operator. And the official observation from Macon, from our emergency management team, Robert McCord, the size of the hail in Macon this morning will be labeled as pea-sized. So obviously it could have been bigger to the north when we were tracking it up near Lake Wildwood. My watch is telling me I've been on the move this morning. We were tracking it near Lake Wildwood, and then nickel-sized hail in the area of Bowman Road and Wesleyan Drive around 7 this morning. So that we've had 2 events. We had the hail that was coming through right as we were wrapping up the morning show, and then we had this big line of wind and hail come through here. I don't even remember. Was it 8:30, 8:35, 8:40, somewhere in there, and a tornado warning on top of it in Twiggs County. So y'all tell me. I think we are okay to begin wrapping this up, and I'll do that with flooding on 83 past Sutton Road. That's in Monroe County. Flooding on 83 past Old Brent Road, flooding on 19 past Cloughlin Road. So Monroe County, a lot of issues this morning with the flooding. Let's see what we got here. Macon-Bibb County Public Information Officer says MTA buses are running, but with detours when necessary. So if you rely on MTA, they are running. But as of now, the severe weather threat goes on. It's going to go on through the day today, level 2 down to the south. But we have no more active warnings. So I'll tell you what, we're going to be rolling up on 10 a.m. here. Wanye, let me send this back to you. Maybe we could do a recap of all the information we know, what we know right now, anything that's new, and then you can come back to me and we'll close it out with a look at the rest of the day.
Yes, so if you all are just joining us, we're continuing our severe weather coverage that we're seeing here throughout Macon-Bibb County and all throughout central Georgia as well, honestly. And I do have a lot of news to get to you right now. So Georgia Power is reporting that we're seeing 7,988 power outages here in Macon-Bibb County. City Hall and the Tax Commissioner's office here in the county say that they are going to be opening up a little bit later on. The terminal station, they are going to be closed today due to flooding that they're seeing in that building. So the terminal station, they are going to be closed all throughout central Georgia. We're seeing trees down. We're seeing power lights out, rather, stoplights that are out. So if you're coming up on a road or a street where there's a power line down or a tree down, definitely just go ahead and turn around. We want you to stay safe. We definitely do care about you. And if you get to a stoplight and that stoplight is not working, if it is safe to do so, be sure to go ahead and treat that just like a 4-way stop when you get to that crossing. And also Baldwin County Schools, they're reporting that due to ongoing weather conditions, all after-school activities for today, Monday, March the 27th, have been canceled. And we're also seeing some more closures as well. Peach County Athletics, they just tweeted as well that the game that they had at Carver High School has been canceled due to weather and the field conditions. So there's definitely a lot that, we want to let you know about. And I'm not sure, Miss Bonnie or the producer in the back, can we go ahead and pop up the Near Me or the telephone numbers so folks can send us any information or any photos that they're seeing? So once again, if you're seeing any damage in your area, you can text those photos and videos only when it is safely to do so to that number on your screen. That number, it's 478-752-1309. Once again, that number for you, it's 478-752-1309. And just as a reminder, you can also utilize the Near Me feature on the 13 WMAZ app. Now, if you don't have the app, you can go ahead and download it, and you can get it in the Google Play or Apple App Store. you can scan a QR code that will usually pop up here on the screen, but you've seen it quite enough now, so hopefully you got it by then. So once you go ahead and download that app, I want you to be sure to sign up for notifications, and we will send you the latest news and weather alerts straight to your phone. Obviously, this is an evolving situation. We saw a lot of damage yesterday in Baldwin County. Now it seems like Macon-Bibb County is definitely getting the brunt of the storms that we are seeing today. We also have reporters who are going to be heading out to other areas throughout central Georgia, our more rural counties, to see what damage they're seeing there as well. We are definitely thinking about all of you all. We're keeping you in our prayers, and we're going to get through this together, Alex.
That's right. Okay, so while you were talking, I had a moment to scroll through our 13 WMAZ Weather Network Facebook group. We got a lot of pictures of downed trees, got a lot of pictures of trees on structures, but the flooding. I cannot emphasize this enough. The flooding is going to be the story. We are talking about roads that aren't going to be there, and rivers and places where rivers should not be. And that's going to be the case through the day today. We're only getting started. This is the beginning of the marathon. So as we go through the rest of the day today, if you see standing water on the roadway, please do not drive through it. I don't care what you drive. If you drive a Ford F-350, do not drive through the water. 6 inches of water can move your Ford F-350 down a moving stream. If you drive a Toyota Camry, it takes less than that. But you never know how deep the water is. You should never drive through it. You should never get into flooding waters. You can be washed away. You don't know what's in them. There could be chemicals. There could be sewage. Please do not get in the floodwaters. Please do not drive in the floodwaters. Do not be over the floodwaters. Be on the side, because nobody ever intends to have something go wrong. But when it does, it's like, oh, I didn't know. It's like, well, we've been telling you. So please don't do that. That is going to be the story today. Obviously, all of us in Macon were rocked this morning. Or as Courtney texted me, rocked in all caps. I think that's a good way to put it, of what we saw here in Macon. The rain's going to continue. Occasional thunder. I hear the rain on the roof now here at 13 WMAZ, and there is more to come. We've got the tornado watch in effect for the next hour or so. I wouldn't be surprised to see that be extended, see a different region come into play, and what's going on, but regardless. So I've been here with you this morning. Meteorologist Taylor Stephenson is now here as well. We've got midday coming up here at the noon hour, so in about 2 hours. And we will have a lot more pictures, a lot more videos. And of course, if we get a severe thunderstorm warning, we're going to hop on here and let you know immediately. So Facebook, YouTube, our website, and carrier pigeon, all four is what we're going to be doing through the day today. So with that, please be safe with the flash flooding we have going on out there. If we get any new information, we'll be following the situation up in Spalding County. If we get any new information, we'll be sure to bring it to you. But with that, thank you for watching, and I'm going to go drink some water.